going to keep the ball on the ground! Aiden McGeady! Thanks for coming on, mate. Just keep it there. How was it, alright?
I was injured last week, so kind of was on a half recovery day today, even though I've not played this season. You know, one of the ones I wasn't integrated back with the group, so I just done what the starters were doing. So, pretty light day to be fair.
Match day -2?
That's the same now, isn't it?
Does Brynny use that? Does Brynny use that talk?
No, he doesn't really, to be fair, but the fitness coach always puts it on, like, match day -2, match day -1, your stats and that.
Right.
So, match day plus, no?
Match day plus 2, aye.
Is that right?
He's doing well though.
You're not doing well, to be fair, aye.
They're doing well,
a lot of turn. I 3 out of 3 in the league. Obviously, done well in the League Cup as well. Ultimately, Falkirk went through. Falkirk are a good team actually, I think, as well. Play really good football, but season started well. Obviously played Hamilton twice, first game of the season, then on Saturday there. But a lot of turnover in players, but players are brought in have been settled well.
Is Wacky and Brynny still going in the bar for each other? You still love it. What was match day +1 for you then? Day off.
That's the day, mate.
Yesterday.
That's the day.
Is that
That's the +1's doing this with you right now.
You're not training today, no?
No, we're usually after. Cause your game's Sunday.
Are you
so we're next Sunday, aye, so we're just chilling the day. But I got raked in the Achilles, you see it in the first half. Achilles is killing me, man.
I said it was your Achilles straight away,
What did you think?
I thought you were alright.
Aye.
I thought you played it. First 10 minutes it was quite even, not much in it, and then I thought you got to be holding the game without creating much.
Aye, we didn't create much at all, did we?
Nah.
I thought it stunk at 0-0 after about 40 minutes.
Oh, you could tell it was going to be a long day. How you could tell it was going to be 0-0.
But in the second half we had a few chances, didn't we?
We were really good Saturday.
What are you at the score?
4-1.
Going something to goals, mate, ain't you?
I think that's 25 and 5.
Do you use the match day minus and all that? No, you stay away from that.
That's good, I
think. How are you match day -3 for the gym on Friday? Me and you went.
And Sunday I got my best record time 26:30 for a 5k. I know it's no, but I know it's not great,
honest,
but
mate.
I've just notched me 30 seconds down. Mate, did you see? I don't know if you realise. So we went to the gym on Friday. So you were
late as well. Do you want to put that in? I might be there at 9:30. You never turned up to 10 o'clock.
Do you get annoyed with stuff like that?
Fucking.
Do you
get annoyed with that?
I hate
Not really. I'm the type of guy who's on the button. Like, people say if you're on time, you're late, don't they?
Have you ever been late for anything? Any like a team meeting?
He nearly killed Charlie Celtic. Well, he did kill Charlie Celtic career.
Me and him sitting watching.
Charlie was desperate to get down early. He's like, stop being busy, mate.
I was in Poland in pre-season. I stopped being so busy, mate. Charlie's pure eager, just in the squad, and I was sitting watching the office. Walked down, you know that way you walk on the bus and you're about 15 minutes late. And I'm walking on going, oh no, and Charlie's like absolutely distraught.
You could have grabbed me, I remember you walking on.
You know, but see that feeling of being late though, it's the cold sweats you get, it's horrible, innit? I don't know what it is, I just seem to do it all the time.
Brutal, mate.
So was that Charlie's first, was that his first trip?
I think Charlie just came back from being on loan at Dundee United.
And Strachan never really liked him either at the time.
No, probably because he was pals with me.
Yeah.
Probably because he was pals with me.
So he's busy.
Let's go down on that.
Charlie tells it amazing, so Charlie's like, I'm desperate to impress Young. He's an established first team player. It's like 20 minutes before they're meant to meet. He's like, I'm going to head down. He's like, stop being busy, mate.
Sit down.
Relax, mate. See Charlie's face when he came on the bus, mate. He could have grit, couldn't he?
It'd be sitting with track on.
He's desperate to go like that as well. Like, Gaffer, it was fucking him, isn't he?
To be fair, I think he knew it was me anyway. He knew it was me.
Did Strachan pull you? Did they say it? Did they go nuts?
He did. He had a go at the two of us. I can't really remember what he'd done, but he pulled the two of us, and that Charlie just kind of stood there, and I kind of took it. I was like, to be fair, I think I admitted it was my fault. But I've been late before, but I've went up the pitch, went up the gates at Lennoxtown, and I was that late. The first team were on the pitch training,
no.
and I'm going through the gates going like that. And that's when Strachan changed the training time. Used to be in for like on the pitch at 11, and then it was in for 10:30, and that was I basically get the training changed, the training time changed. But
that's late as well, isn't it?
No, but see, under Martin Hill, it used to just be on the pitch for 11 o'clock.
I think Lenny might have been the same at 11.
Almost Silla, mate, 5 to 11 every day. Bobby Petter, 2 minutes to 11.
Oh, is he?
Aye.
So see, when you were late that day, what did Strachan say to you?
I can't remember what he said, but basically had a go at me again. And to be fair, I took it on. I knew it was my fault, and just one of the ones I just slept in. To be fair, he's probably done the right thing, because I used to set my alarm so late.
Why?
And give myself maximum half an hour to get in. Don't know, just...
Aye.
You find as you go all these ADHD stuff and things, don't you? And I go, so many of the symptoms then I've got.
That ticks a couple of boxes.
So many of the boxes.
Have you ever been ready for Ireland, when you're out of Ireland?
Don't think so, no.
What, have you heard this?
Liam Miller was the worst actually.
I
I used to
heard he
remember him
was
as well. He was the actual worst. But I remember Miller told me the story, and he was talking about Stokesy one day, and it was like with Roy Keane, but it wasn't with Ireland, it was with Sunderland.
I've heard this.
Have you heard this story? And Roy Keane's obviously mad on timekeeping, and it was like meet at Wynyard Services. Go to the training ground, meet at Wynyard Services at whatever time. Stokes obviously late, and he's driving behind the bus, and he's on the phone to Ross Wallace, and he's like, mate, tell the bus driver to pull in the next services. Tell the go and speak to the gaffer. And he's went down the front of the bus, and he's like to Roy Keane, Stokes is behind us. He just says pull into the next lay-by or next services. And Roy Keane's like, I'll tell him to fucking go home. And so the lads are at the back of the bus looking at Stokesy, and Stokesy just drives like that. And then it's cut-off comes, and Stokesy just goes like that.
That's incredible.
That's someone at the back of the bus like that. Stokesy's like that.
You turning the motorway.
That's insane.
And are you
No,
have been late?
I think I've been late like once or something.
Oh,
in my
have you
career. I hate being late for anything.
Are you
Mate, I felt sick when I was late for. Remember we had the
meeting?
We had to be in at 2:30 like
and you
2
were
weeks
lying
ago
on
or
the
something.
couch.
I was just sitting on the couch at 2:30, completely forgot about it. I felt sick coming for that, mate. It was for this. I
And
hate
they
being
gives a
late.
fuck here, and you're still
Aye.
feeling sick. Mate, you were at the Hydro about 5 years before it started.
I mean, what time did I get here today? Mate, I was here about an hour and a half before the show today.
That's
Why?
too much though, mate.
I was in Hamilton, to be fair, so if I went home, I'd have been sitting on my couch for 15 minutes before I came back in, so that's the only reason I was early today. But for the most part, I'm early for everything.
Have we
Hate being late.
covered the pickpocket with Arteta? Have we went near that?
But that
Mate,
about that.
I'm buzzing you brought that up.
What do you think? Yeah,
I've watched
think he's a dick.
No, honestly,
I'm with you with that. I
mate,
don't get
I've
it.
watched
not a
about
fan
4 or 5 things with Arteta. Have you seen the one with the light bulb? So they're about 60 around a circle, he's got an empty light bulb. And he went, this light bulb doesn't work like the team unless you connect. And he puts a plug into the light bulb before it starts lighting. So that's you all connected now.
He's a plumber, isn't he? He's a spark, isn't he?
Sparky.
He's a sparky by
Sparky.
trade.
You see one
He's doing a
where-
college course. On his Wednesday off, he's doing a spark course.
Got my trade at Rangers.
That was sparky. That's amazing. Did you see the one where he, at the training ground he had walk-on playing? To
Get away
players
to
ready
Liverpool.
for the...
And then they went and got fucked.
So just a man
But see that one, right? I'm still not a fan of it, but that makes a bit more sense. A bit more right. A light bulb and getting pickpocketed by guys in at a restaurant. What the fuck? What's that?
I want to ask you if you've ever had a manager that's done stuff like that. So like the pickpockets or
You would
team bonding, say a team bonding thing that would maybe get you.
You might have done it with Strachan, but Strachan done the marine training at Middlesbrough, and fucking the boys hated it.
Did they?
Aye, proper.
I don't think they work, do they?
At 6 o'clock in the morning, at the beach, in the sea, doing squats with people on your back, running out with people on your back at 6 in the morning, and the lads are like, fuck.
I think I do remember Strachan doing something like
Aye,
that. But
we done that. That was fucking horrific.
He does look like a wee Colonel Stack, doesn't
He does and he acts that.
But I don't really know what is team bonding with that. Carrying somebody on your back out of the water.
I suppose you're probably talking to people. Well, you're probably talking to people you would normally interact with. Like you'll normally keep to your own members of the squad, don't you? The guys you got on with well.
But I always think, see, even doing that,
Even
you'll
after
still
that, you
do it.
still do
Aye,
it.
you
You
still
still
hang
do
about
it.
with the ones that
Aye.
you're close with. Do you know what I
You
mean?
hate them there, don't you?
Lee Johnson done one actually when we were pre-season a couple of years ago. I think you were at Hearts at the time. It was when we played just pre-season. We were the afternoon session. We just had to come out with our trainers on, and he whipped over this guy who was like an ex-bodyguard SAS Marine member, and he just had to do dodging knife attacks. No word to lie. So just dodging knife. So like you had to. He put you with somebody you obviously didn't really speak to, and I was with this young lad, and for about 15, 20 minutes we were just like, there was a kind of, he started off with a few different activities, and then it basically finished with dodging knife attacks, and he was showing you how to, he was saying, use your momentum, look, come for me, and like deflect the elbow away, and then basically everyone was just absolutely puzzled as to what was going on.
I
That was all we done.
love him, mate.
I
How
love
good was he?
It's so funny to talk about. But we got back to the hotel, and he gave a talk on basically his whole life, and he was
Who, the SAS guy?
the SAS guy. He was basically like a bodyguard for people like in Jamaica and stuff like that. Obviously was in the SAS, and at the very end of it, right, he was sitting listening to this guy talk for about an hour about his life story, and he goes, lads, if any want to stay behind, it's not compulsory. I've got a slideshow on breathing exercises if you just want to hear it, but none of you need to stay. Obviously I've already straight away got up thinking everybody else is going to get up,
And you
went too early into, but then I couldn't sit back down, so I've just walked straight out.
And you were all
And everyone
I was the
stayed.
only one that everybody else stayed. I'm like that, right, so, and then went far too early.
Did Lee Johnson ever give a reason of why you were doing that, like after the guy left in it?
There was no reason whatsoever. It's like a team bonding thing, I think.
Defending his
interviews,
taking your focus off the football, I think.
His interviews could be the greatest ever you've seen in Scottish football.
Aye.
The one with the line attack, man.
What was that
Remember
one
the
again?
line attack? Who was it? Was it Will Fish maybe? It was getting back in and he said he wasn't running fast enough. He said, were you sprinting there? Were you sprinting there? And he was like, aye. And he went, if a lion was chasing you, we'd have run quicker.
See what he's thinking?
A line with a knife. Would you be able to defend it?
Use your momentum. Use his momentum.
Use your momentum on the line.
Well, actually, we'd won mate, you could, some of the stuff at Hibs, man, was incredible, but all the Hibs lads who were there will know this one, but I think we were on a really, really bad run of form, and we were expecting to come in on like the Monday and have like a video meeting of like what went wrong, and walked into the meeting room and Gladiator was playing, and we just watched 5 minutes of Gladiator, and it was like the chariot scene, and he was like, look lads, a lot of comparables here to our current situation. Look, one breaks off from the pack, spade in the heart. You know, just like,
Guy loves knives, man.
that was all we watched for 5 minutes, just Gladiator.
Are you made team bonding stuff over in the board? I don't know.
Nah,
I don't get what.
Night out, get a night out, innit?
Night out.
Best team bonding,
It's good,
mate.
aye.
But
But it's like he says, you only do certain ones, like paintball's a certain toilet.
paintball's pish.
You've watched a few games, you're not going paintball, you're not shooting fuck at each
You're
other.
just trying to get the gaffer, aren't you? Just shoot the gaffer, man.
Standard paintball, but a team bonding that's not a night out, nobody actually wants to go do.
No,
No,
I can't
didn't
even
fuck.
know it.
No chance.
Don't know why gaffers don't think of it. Surely gaffers think, when I was a player, I couldn't be arsed with stuff either.
What's your 5k time?
Mate, I've told you before, I'm terrible at 5Ks. Terrible.
horrible.
It would be about 22 minutes or something. Which for a up I wouldn't say it's good.
I'd be about the same, to be honest with you.
Aye.
Used to be really fit. You'd be unbelievable at a 5k.
But see if I did 4-4s, I'd be
Right up there.
I'd be decent. Do you know what I mean?
Because you get the break.
Aye, I would get I would get
break.
under 4 minutes every K basically.
5k soul destroying. Intervals
Isn't
are better,
it?
mate. 5k
The
soul
5k
destroying.
just feel you're just getting. I don't even think you're getting a proper brief on. Honestly,
Nah, the tits weren't even bouncing on a 5k. You said you just had an interview.
could if
The
you go
tits probably- I've got a pet peeve. People that go to golf and driving ranges and dress like they're going to play fucking 18 holes of golf.
Aye, full
What
gear
the
on
fuck
that.
are you doing, man?
Aye.
Guys wanting to be with caddies, mate, and fucking green jackets on for a driving
Aye,
range.
I'm with you.
is it in a driving range? Is there people?
People dressed like they're going to
Wait,
golf.
actual wearing golf shoes.
Golf shoes, mate, on a
You're
driving
on
range.
Astro, mate. Just a pair of trainers on.
Nah, there's no need for
Swear,
that.
mate, marking their card on it.
Under Armour on with a glove.
But what about on the same vein as that then? The people that go and watch golf tournaments and wear the golf gear at the tournaments.
And they're not going to.
Not going to hit a shot
Have
the
you-
whole day, and you're wearing golf gear.
Have you ever went to watch like golf at any day?
Aye.
Do you know it gets fucking horrendous? You don't see it.
You hardly see. You just
Aye, you
see
don't
somebody
see-
hitting
you
a
don't see
shot
a
and then a
shot.
ball landing. You don't
Aye.
actually see.
Golf's a myth, mate.
And
How
there's
anyone
like
can
millions
enjoy
of people
watching
in front
it.
of you. Pish.
What
I
other
would never
sports
go
would that
again.
be good at if somebody dressed the same way as the
Tennis.
people?
Aye.
Boxing. Imagine if you're in the box and just sit with them. Now gloves on, shorts and gloves on.
Swimming Olympics.
That's the god cap. Can't you see how fucking these things steaming up, man? I had a pet peeve set for a fan. I'll pick one every week. Mark Heron. Guys that go on nights out and hit the fucking boxing machines, take a day off. Mike Tyson, you're up.
It's
Aye.
taking attention off it. It's normally lads that can't pull a bird in it and can't speak to a bird.
That's a set or a holiday.
isn't it?
innit?
I always do it. I know. You're right there. Genuinely.
Another time I hit in the boxing machine for a full hour.
But I know.
But you'll actually notice that they'll no hit it till a bird walks by. I mean, they'll wait
yeah,
for any birds here. They wait too long.
Have you had somebody that you played with that would guaranteed to be hitting that boxing machine all night? Who would it be? I know mine straight away. All three of us played on beats. Craig beat you with 100%.
Probably not for the same reason, just because loves punching, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, he's boxing. Aye, you're right. He would be.
And then he would get a picture with his top score doing that, wouldn't he?
Tap off.
But no point
But
to
I
it.
pointed to the score.
Aye.
Anyone else you
Big
played
jig.
with?
First one I thought of.
Lee McCulloch, would he
Aye.
do that, would he? Huh?
Loves his boxing training and that and all.
Aye, beats is a one there.
Any pet peeves, Aiden, that you've got in life?
Plenty of pet peeves, mate. Like a lot of things annoy me. Like, loads of things annoy
You
me.
got an example?
Probably just thinking of there when I was actually driving in here. You said to me last night about it. It's a modern thing now. Prehab in football. Prehab does my absolute head in because see before you had prehab, everybody would go to the gym if they wanted to go to the gym. But see now you actually just spend 45 to 50 minutes
Before training?
Well, see, now I was at Charlton, this is what I was going to say. Has there been any data or any record that shows that prehab prevents injuries, or there's less injuries in football now? Because you do prehab. There's probably no any more or no less. But we used to do it at Charlton, and remember during COVID, you couldn't actually do it. You couldn't do it before training, so you just had to come into training, and that was you done, go home. And I said to the fitness coach, I was like, interesting to see the data, by the way, see the stats. Do we have any less injuries, any more injuries than we did when we done prehab? Because we used to spend 50 minutes in the gym, people sitting doing core, some guy standing on the wee jaggy pillow thing, getting thrown a fucking
volleys
on the wee jaggy bouncy thing. He was like, actually, I'm not sure, by the way. I was like,
so why you doing it?
Exactly. I was like, make it optional, but that's one of mine.
I've never done prehab my whole career, have you?
No, fucking never. That stuff is mate. I hate warming up. I don't understand why you warm up for so long, mate.
Aye.
So it's what
see it Dundee, mate, right? I'm going to say that. See it Dundee, mate.
Something in the gym. It's literally doing something.
Our warm up used to last longer than the football. We'd warm up for about 45 minutes and then play 20 minutes of football. How does that work?
Warm ups are soul destroying, aren't they?
Warming up, man.
I'm allowed another pet peeve.
Go.
It's on the same football chat though, talking about warm-ups. See when people use the expression like, "Come on lads, right, let's get a good warm-up today." That warm-up was poor. How many times have you seen the warm-up be unbelievable, or someone who's unbelievable on a warm-up and the first touch of the ball goes under the foot and out of play?
What I was going to say,
that never makes sense. You can have the worst warm-up in the world and still play well.
What I was going to say, I know, is like, see if you actually watch, like, see every top European team I've seen, their warm-up's a disgrace. They just stand and pass the ball 40 yards to each other for 20 minutes and go in. They don't actually, there's no running, there's no fast feet, there's no possession, they just clip balls to each other for 30 yards and go in.
I know.
Did you see when you were playing like Champions League or European, did you ever watch a top team doing a warm-up completely different from what you
I used to always say to the coaches, like, so you'd go at 40 minutes before kick-off, you'd be there for like 10-15 minutes and then you would see them walk out and you're like, fucking 22 and they've just came out. I was like, are we not going to start learning from what they do before games, you know what I mean?
And I'm sure Barcelona, when you might have been playing Ronaldinho, the team were warming up and he would just want about heading
at the corner fly, I remember it.
You want, mate.
Aye.
Just do what you want.
But when you're that good, I suppose you can do that, can't you?
Remember back in the day where you were a youth team and you used to run down to the AstroTurf at Barrowfield and for 20 minutes you just run about volleying balls off each other?
Aye.
Nobody ever got injured, mate.
No.
You know what I mean? You just go down early and just fuck balls at each other.
I don't like a high tempo warm up either. I like to just be fucking just chill, man.
Keep yourself ready.
Just relax. Just get ready for the game.
Everybody's different, I think, but it's when that shout comes. And by the way, I knew that was coming because I watched the warm up and the warm up was terrible today. That's got no correlation to the game whatsoever. None whatsoever, but I hear it all the time.
Where do you stand with this? Where do you stand with this? Like, Charlie comes to mind when he doesn't play the Champions League game midweek because he said his minutes aren't ready or whatever to start a game. Because sports science have maybe told the manager that where do you stand?
How can you play? I don't get how you can play a certain amount but you can't play an extra 15 minutes. That baffles me. What's happening in that 15 minutes is going to fuck you?
I can understand his situation a wee bit more because you'd only train for a week.
And
but when you're right into the middle of a season, I don't get it. Like, people can play 3 games a week. I think at the start, I think he just came back for Euros, didn't he? Train like 10 days.
But remember, Celtic were beating Atletico Madrid last year or drawn. And they took somebody off at 60 minutes just because he had to be taken off.
After the hour.
And somebody else came on, they'll end up losing the game 2-1. And it was Carter Vickers that made the mistake.
That's right.
That's different.
He's in the game, he's fine.
Was it not the boy for Liverpool, that Nat Kelly? Was it not him?
Nat Phillips.
Phillips, sorry.
Usually you would want him off, but he's actually doing alright that night. Do you know what I mean?
He was doing alright.
And he comes off, that baffles me.
That I don't get.
It's strange, isn't it?
What, last thing before we get into the football company with Burnley, have you watched it?
Aye.
What do you think?
I love his point, to be honest. I think he maybe lost control of it, but there's nothing worse than I had the incident, obviously, with Big Brothers, didn't I? I can't handle people moaning, players moaning all the time in training. I probably was one, but as a coach, when that ball and all the boys are shouting, that's our ball, and you're a coach, you don't have a clue, and you're constantly moaning, you can feel yourself as a coach, I don't know why you're going, you're panicking. I just don't like players always moaning.
But the strange thing about it, mate, see if he was moaning, why didn't they never showed him moaning?
That's what I was going to say. Like,
it was kind of like it was set up a wee bit,
it made Kompany look bad because it never showed you Gudmundsson like having a go at it.
He was genuinely baffled, mate. He's like, what are you talking about? What's the moaning?
He said I'd only asked something about to finish the attack or something, didn't he? Didn't he actually say he'd have no moaned at all? But I would see, to be fair, I remember maybe when I was growing up playing, I was quite moody in training. Moaning decisions, I don't know if just as a player.
I think there's anything wrong with that though.
Anybody that's got anybody that wants to win, I think, will moan
Yeah.
at anything. So,
But as a coach, mate, there's nothing worse.
but you hate confrontation, mate.
Aye, you're right.
See, I thought Arteta did, I know he done the light bulb stuff and that, but I thought he came really across really well in the Arsenal, and with Kompany I was a wee bit like...
It's almost like he was trying to make a proper point though, wasn't it? Didn't think it was genuine, I didn't think it was needed.
No.
But even his team
Didn't
talks
see-
that like before games were a wee bit...
What was the one with arms and legs?
They've got the same fucking arms as legs as us. No, they didn't. They've got different arms and legs.
But slightly
not how
different
body-
brains, which controls everything. So, slightly better brains.
Brilliant. Right, I need to give them to you as well. So a boy came up to us, he's a massive fan of Lee Mackey, Big Howden Beef.
Brilliant.
We gift for him.
Was
You've
that
met him before at Broomhill. He said he's a massive fan of you.
Oh, that's magnificent. Lee Mackey.
Lee Mackey,
So the streak's
70.
on, we've went 3 in a row. When do you think...
What's that, darts?
Aye, darts. Scottish flag there, what does it say on? Gary
I think it's got
Anderson.
something to do with Gary Anderson, mate. Read it. I think there's
Well,
a
he
note
does.
for you.
I will... There's a note there as well, but he's gave us Gary Anderson flights. Is this a stitch up here?
No, mate, I swear to God, he came up to us after I said I would...
So what's the note though? How's there been a note left?
Says he's wrote you a note.
Does he want me to read it out or is it personal?
Go for it.
Hi Slaney, massive fan of Open Goal and the AYRs. As a young dart player myself, I have gave you my Gary Anderson set to use on the podcast. Maybe you will hit a 180. Can you please give me a shout out to the show? Thank you, it would be amazing. Lee Mackey, darts. Magnificent.
That's Kev Kyle pretending to be Lee Mackey, innit? It's actually Kev that's saying you, mate. There you
play,
go.
Lee.
That's a beautiful wee
Nice, aye.
gesture,
Nice
innit?
touch, innit?
You didn't realise the effect you've got on people's life, man.
When do you think it's the streak's on? We've beat the Clyde One boys now, we've beat the two clubs. When do you remember Undertaker, the
Well,
streak?
you didn't get you in it here. There you go.
Did
What
you
an
ask? Did you have a dart school at here?
No, no, there's no dartboard, there's no nothing.
Telling you, Hearts will be a right
You've been
test
there,
for
there's
you.
no nothing for a dartboard.
Definitely.
Hearts.
Hearts will be a right test for you.
When do you think, so do you remember, I don't know, you don't know if he's a wrestling freak, but do you ever remember Undertaker streak? Do you remember that? When do you think it's accepted for me and Kev to dress as Undertaker and me's be Paul Bearer, get into clubs? I think that'd be amazing. Do you know
But
what I mean?
play darts as Paul Bearer.
Aye, and him as Undertaker because the streak's on now, innit? But I don't know if you need to wait until there's more. You beat me. You with me?
I don't think a lot of people would know.
No,
what Undertaker
I'm
and Paul
lost,
Bearer, though,
personally.
that thing
Do
these
you
days.
know?
I
Just
don't
'cause
remember
the
the
streak,
streak
no.
myself.
How long was Undertaker's unbeaten streak?
I think he was 40. 40 no or something.
40 matches.
Aye. So maybe need to wait a wee bit.
Right, okay.
Or maybe just forget that idea altogether.
Aye, that was a cracking idea, mate, honestly. We should
Paul
get you
Bearer.
and Gordon Smith to do that. That sounds brilliant. Right, Celtic v Hibs, who watched the game?
I was in
You
it.
were at it.
I thought it was very similar to
No,
the last game, aye.
In
Thing
terms
is,
of what, Celtic battering them?
aye, the first half, I mean, Hibs actually started, I mean, it was David Gray said didn't get a bit of criticism. Hibs actually did start well, when but it was only 2 minutes.
They didn't go down one
in
one
3
after
minutes,
3
but the
minutes.
first 2 minutes, it's mad, David. I know, and that's crazy to say, but I actually said...
What did they do in the 2 minutes? It was so impressive.
No, but what I was saying, David Gray actually said that in his press conference and he got annihilated for it, but I was sitting at the side where Hibs were attacking, and I can't remember how they got up, but they were in it, and Celtic couldn't really get it. It was only 2 minutes of the game, of course, so I'm not praising Hibs for that, but the first 2 minutes were putting crosses in, Celtic on the back foot, but as I said, 2 minutes, and then Celtic get that first goal. Celtic have been brilliant this season. We've spoken about it, the intensity of that, but that would frustrate the life of me as a manager, that run. How that somebody had Tatty, somebody doesn't fall and stop that cross. We see it on here every week. Celtic are looking to do that. I know it's easier said done sitting here and that, but as a manager, you've got to recognise that in 3 minutes you're a goal down.
Mate, see, marking that run, it's the hardest thing in football for a midfield player.
I know, but no when you've got a back three.
But is
got
that
a back three?
Is that Hibs had a
Aye.
back three? Or did you got a back three? They were back four last week.
A back three
Oh,
yesterday. So if
No,
you've
but-
got a back three, I think...
Then you can pass them on.
Do you
But
not think
see,
that's
if you
maybe-
need to mark that run, mate, Armstrong did it at Dundee United before anyone when I played against him, mate, and it was the hardest.
Oh, well, yeah, 100%. But do you not think that's probably why David Gray's went a back three? To sort
stop
of try and
them.
stop
Exactly
that
for
space
that
that's in
reason.
behind, and then first 2 goals come for that area again. But like, you've
So
got...
how's it getting into that area if they've got the back three? What happened? Did the back three get split? Did one of their left centre backs get dragged out wide? Or
For the first goal, Hatate was kind of almost standing in that position already, wasn't he? And he just ran off the back shoulder. I'm not sure how it was for the first one, but the second
I
one,
thought it was advanced anyway, wasn't it?
aye, the second one they were a bit more spread at that point. Couldn't just play sort of one ball over the top.
to Mida that was so, wasn't it?
For the second
And that's
goal,
just
aye.
Mida playing on the shoulder, isn't it?
Aye.
So it's not that actual run into that space, it's made over the top of the ball.
But
So effective.
But that must
obviously, Aiden will be a good one for it, especially for like a Celtic point of view and played against him. But you always know when you go to Celtic Park, the first 20 minutes is the most important period of the game, I think, for an away team, because they can beat you in the first 20 minutes.
What a start, mate.
Have you ever had it 2 minutes like it?
Not different like that.
But that's 2 weeks in a row, Celtic's game, the game's won within 20 minutes. 2-0 up.
They could have been 3 or 4 and then Hibs get the goal. Probably at a good timing. Because it could have been, I think they had a few chances and it could have been put to bed, but it was a tough start for David.
He didn't want to judge players too early, but the right centre back for Hibs has had some 3 weeks.
He's struggling.
Pohora or the Ekpetita? I think it's been a hard start for Hibs, so innit? It's been, and you only see come kind of when they're playing against probably teams run about them. You get Celtic twice, do you know what I mean?
Tough,
I think Celtic are the standard as well, and Celtic are playing with so much confidence at the minute. Totally different team from the start of last season. It just look like everything they're doing just now is such everything seems to be working.
Nice.
What have you made of Keane this year?
Again, like been really impressive since pre-season. But we played Celtic first game of pre-season, and I wasn't sure on Keane last season. Like, it was kind of, I know it's always difficult when you're a foreigner and you come to a new country as a new signing, but wasn't sure on him. He was a bit hit and miss. And we played them first game of the season, and I was like, literally never even took. Was it Scotland? Man, it was Paddy Redden was playing left back. Never even took him on once. Just kept cutting inside, and I was like, not a chance he'll play for Celtic. Just
really?
thought no chance. Within 3 games, proved me wrong. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Actually, it's like so much confidence can do so much for a player.
Did say that last year though, didn't we? Like,
because he was a player
there's
in
nothing
there.
worse if a winger can go both ways, just as good as each other. James Forrest has probably been the one for that for the last sort of 5-6 years for Celtic, but last year he was just cutting inside all the time. Dead predictable, aye. Especially when most teams against Celtic are trying to compact that sort of middle area and make it like tight. And the way he was playing it last year, I thought it was a bit predictable, but started well, obviously.
Yeah.
His goal, fucking hell, man.
Made it look good up front, mate, didn't he?
I mean, but that's when he plays with Japan, didn't he? Plays up there with Japan, didn't he? I remember he played pre-season last year up front. He scored 4 goals.
Roger says that's 2 games he's played up front for him, 5 goals. Scored a hat-trick the first time he played up front, said it after the game.
Wow.
So
that's interesting.
Left wing, I know he's effective at left wing, but there is times he's so frustrating out there.
Aye, he's crossing, that's not the greatest, is it?
His game does seem more suited to
Get more chances playing centre forward, and actually see the way that he runs off the ball as well. Probably is better. Would he be better than Kyogo doing that? Probably is, isn't he?
Well, pressing's incredible, by the way.
It's the same as if you're a fullback. I think if you were a centre half, you'd fucking hate to play against me, wouldn't you? You'd hate
chasing
to
you
play
down every single time the ball bounces and you run back towards your own goal. You just know there's a guy screaming down your back, don't you?
Who would you rather attack, your Idah or that SS guy?
As much as they're saying it's poor for the Hibs defender, man, Idah's pressed to force him in there, force him back and play a blind pass.
So see, on the Hibs side, that's what I was going to ask you. You've obviously worked under David Graves, seen him coach. Will he be the type that wants to play it for the back, or will it? Did you get any kind of insight on what
he never coached enough when I was there.
Was it just mere like wee technical drills he would take?
And obviously when you're assistant manager or you're a coach and you've not been brought in by that coach, you have to align with what they're thinking, don't you? You can't be saying, no, we want to do this. So he had to go with what Lee Johnson wanted. So you never seen too much of his own opinions, but a lot of things that he didn't agree with, that I didn't agree with, he did agree with as well. Which the things that were going wrong on the pitch and off the pitch, but didn't see enough of him to understand how he wants to play. But I think he will be. I think he will be a good appointment in time. The thing is with Hibs, so is he going to get time? If say if Hibs finish 6th, 7th this year, it'll just be a conveyor belt again of a new squad, a new manager, unless they actually give him
surely
18 months, 2 years.
This year,
do you think they'll give him time?
Personally, I've had them watching Gladiator today. Somebody took Fairley Johns out.
Do you think
I wanted to ask you, because you were at the game, sorry, so see when see Celtic's third goal, was that pretty much what Hibs done when the goal had the ball with the play? Or
no, but the funny thing about it was they done 2 before that where Miller goes high on Taylor and it's actually worked, but they clipped it up, I think they played it out and then and he goes high and they actually got success for it. So I don't know if they tried that again but made us pressed it to it and he said to turn back and play the goalkeeper. But that was what I thought. He was great yesterday, the boy Miller.
Was he?
Aye, defensively I thought he was really, first 2 minutes I thought he was out of this world. But no, listen, you do need to get it. He's had a shocker at a start, as in the fixtures he said, hadn't he? But no, you need to give him time. Will they give him time though, do you think?
Surely, aye.
I think they will. I think they're trying to get it right now. Like obviously Malcolm Mackay's went in there, totally, he's been a director of football before. He's brought in Marsh as well. In terms of recruitment, they are trying to change the recruitment
Who's in
model.
there, sorry?
David Marshall's in there now as well. So So Marshall's
Punch-
retired.
Signing goalies.
But he's part of the they're part of the recruitment policy now, because I think in the past there's been no one really held accountable for the recruitment and things that have been going on at the club. There's been that many different people saying, oh, it wasn't me. Like Lee Johnson, for example, he could probably say 10 or 12 of the signings last summer weren't his, even though they might have been, because there's that many people involved in the signing and the recruitment of the players. I think now people are actually going to be held accountable for it, so I think there's nowhere to turn if it doesn't go well.
Did you notice that when you were there as well? Did you think Above was a bit of a mess?
Well, I never dealt with the weird thing that I found at Hibs is that I just dealt with Lee Johnson when I signed, so I literally was speaking to him on the phone and texting him, and he literally agreed my contract. Normally you agree a contract with, you agree with the manager you want to sign, and he goes, right, chief exec comes in, like Ben Kensel, like he never dealt with it at all. I never dealt with the owner, I never dealt with the head of recruitment at the time, who was Ian Gordon, at all. And then there was this just conveyor belt of players just coming in, and then by January, we signed like 15 players. By January, 11 of them they wanted rid of, 11 brand new players. Any other club in the world, if you brought in 15 players and by 3 months later 11 of them are told they're not good enough, surely the head of recruitment or the director of football or the chief exec, what are you doing here?
No.
Imagine Lee Johnson was putting on different personas for different jobs that he was doing. When he was speaking to you about your wages, he was acting like he was the chairman.
Sit on.
The gaffer here's brilliant, by the way. You'll love the gaffer. do you think he will do well this year? I know it's hard to say because of the fixtures that they've had, but did you see enough yesterday in the 2 minutes that you thought
I'm
they
unsure,
could get top 6?
I'm honestly unsure. That's as honestly, like, I just feel, and I don't know if I'm going back here the last few years, it's hard, but I just feel there's some of the decisions the club's made. Maybe now, as Aiden was saying there, they've got things put in place now, it's better, but just some of the stuff that's went on, I'm still unsure on that. Even the appointment, because he's not done it before.
Was you in at Hibs when you were there?
Ellie Ewan, yeah.
What did you think of him?
He's got potential, like, see if he could put it all together, be playing for Real Madrid.
Aye. I'm surprised with his sort of situation there.
I think Hibs had that option to trigger his contract, and they triggered it, and I think they were actually hoping when they triggered it they could pretty much sell him straight away, but he's managed to be injured now, and I think there's still a chance he might be able to leave, but I think he's out until maybe mid-September. He was again, could be absolutely horrendous some days in training, like he'd never seen a ball for, and other days you're like,
I've always been surprised that, like,
so
he
quick,
divides
so
a lot of
strong.
opinions with Hibs fans, but maybe because you're saying just in consistency levels is probably his biggest issue. But any time I've seen him, I think he's good.
He's got
Cadden and Nicky Cadden good?
Nicky Cadden. He went down south and done well, Nicky Cadden, didn't he? I'm surprised at how well he done doing that.
He was at Livy, wasn't
I
he?
think he won a couple of leagues down there, didn't he?
Did he?
Barnsley was it?
Barnsley, he went to Barnsley. Forest Green he played for as well.
Did he come on for Celtic?
You were at the game, mate, you tell me.
Nicky Cadden, I did. He had that shot for your man Miller's cross. But listen, it's early days, innit? But I think last year Hibs looked as if they were a decent team going forward, but defensively weren't they that great. I don't really think there's been anything that's sort of changed their opinion at the start of this season, but who knows? They've signed a couple of centre-halves, haven't they?
I think there's got to be a change in culture. There's got to be a change in culture at Hibs, and I think there is starting to be, because even when I was there, I think the start was the team had finished third once in 15 years.
That's mad.
And I was like, that's unacceptable for a team like Hibs. And then we actually looked at the start, and it was hadn't beaten Hearts in 4 years. You'd have been at Hearts at the time as well. And I remember we were talking about the dressing room one day. It was after we get beat off Hearts, and I remember I think it was New Year's Day. There was like a big discussion in the dressing room after it, and I remember going, this team has not beat Hearts for 4 seasons. So Hearts have managed to be relegated and come back up and go above us in the table, and we've not beaten them once. That's just unacceptable. And people are just like,
so why do you think that was, that they hadn't beat Hearts?
There was always
what you've seen.
Hearts were a better team. Hearts had better players, and I think probably go back to recruitment. Hearts recruited really well.
Yeah.
We recruited. Listen, I was part of the recruitment as well, which, like, I was signed with Lee Johnson, so I'm part of that too. But Hearts actually recruited players that can actually British players that actually know the league.
They've done well in the league as well previously. Aye, I said that even going into this year, I think Hearts recruitment for the last sort of 3-4 seasons has been really good. And you look at this season, we touched on it, like Danda, Ross County's best player, Spittle, probably Motherwell's best player last year. Penrice, who had done well for Russ. They were all pre-contracts before next season had even started recruitment-wise.
What would you put that down to, Andy? Is it Joe Savage that was in place there at Hearts?
I think it's just, like you says, it's not just one person in it, it's a team, but it's somebody that is there to be held accountable, and Joe Savage obviously had a lot of credit because of the signings they've made, but look at Hearts' squad, I think, as well. I know they're going to take a lot of flack for making, 9 changes against Falkirk and get beat.
But the players
come how strong it was, mate. How strong the 11 that they put out. Still a good team.
What about the reception for Big Idah? You were in tears.
I mean, that we all boy floods of tears. I just want to ask you, by the way, £9.5 million, do you think it's getting paid too much?
But is it not? I don't think there's £9.5 million quid, is it? I think somebody said 6 and then add-ons it goes up to 9.5.
With add-ons, it's still potentially £9.5 million, though, isn't it?
Where do you stand on that? Do you think it's been too much? That's too much they've spent.
I think Norwich have played it quite well, haven't they? They're playing.
Delia Smith, innit? She's played a blinder.
Aye.
Where are you?
It's hard.
Kept phoning Celtic. Where are you?
I think he was definitely like he could end up being worth it when Celtic end up selling him for 20, 25 million if he does well. So you're still making a massive profit. Celtic have the luxury of being able to do that, though, don't they?
Aye,
it's not even a first choice striker.
He's got money. It is mad, because see, he never came to Celtic and he went into this summer no playing for Norwich all last year and he was a third choice striker. Well, he got him for like 3 or 4 million quid, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I'd have said less than that.
Aye.
Would you?
He didn't have a good goal record, did he, before he came to Celtic?
No.
Don't think it was great at all. So Celtic have actually made him that amount of money.
I do always think if you've got whatever, if you want 2-3 strikers at your club, I do think it's important to have different type of profiles, and I think he is different, completely different to Kyogo Maeda. Yeah. I always think of the game at
the Killie?
No,
Motherwell.
The game against Motherwell, aye. The game against Motherwell last year when we sort of got after him, and I think it kind of spooked Celtic a wee bit, and they started sort of playing direct towards Kyogo and he couldn't get involved in the game, and as soon as he came on, he was just that outlet for them. It just made it stick and bring people into play. So I think it's a good sign. And listen, I'm surprised at the figure, I'm not going to lie. I didn't think it would be that sort of fee for him, but he is good, isn't he? They know what they're going to get as well.
Would you have went with it then, Andy?
Who else would you
get for?
And unproven when the fans are clamouring for him to come back as well.
I always think as well, like, it must be hard signing a striker knowing that he's going to be second choice almost, if that makes sense.
It's a lot of money for second choice.
So it's like 9 million for someone that knows that. It's hard to say second choice, but you can't see Kyogo not being in the team, can you?
Fuck, the way made us plenty, probably be first choice. Imagine, 9 million quid to be the first choice, man.
What about Miovski? Was he just wanting to go abroad?
I heard he wanted to go abroad, mate. You see much him, Miovski? Did you play against him?
7?
I liked him when we played against him at Aberdeen. His goal record speaks for itself too. Probably scored a lot of goals this season when I was at Hibs, and a struggling Aberdeen team as well. Always liked him. I don't think he's got anything outstanding. He's not ridiculously quick, is he? He's not amazing there, but good finisher and knows where to go.
He's just still quite young as well, is he not?
Nah, he's still quite young. Where are you?
He was brilliant.
Because he never turned up at pre-season, mate. That'd have been genius of the match.
That would have been an unbelievable announcement,
So it would have been
unbelievable.
Social media
team must
Where are you? He's in the Irish team, if you had any.
No, to be fair, most of the lads, like there's only 2 or 3 lads left in the squad now that are still there when I was there, and I wouldn't ask them directly about. I've never asked like Seamus Gomes, for example. I've not asked him directly about Adam Idah. So, but to be fair, like, when Stephen Kenny took over, he pretty much played him straight away, and he wasn't even playing at Norwich. So he obviously had a lot of faith in him from the 21s. Whenever he's played at Celtic, whenever he's come on, he's been a handful. He's been a bit of a game changer, isn't he?
Stephen Kenny looks like the type that Delia Smith would go out with. You could see them as a couple, couldn't you? His wee dry hair. He's got really dry hair, isn't he? That's right. Champions League coming up.
Massive this season, innit? Aiden, you lighted that tournament up. What do you think of Celtic this season? Do you think they can do well in it?
Oh my God, on that. On you go, keep going, mate, sorry.
I think everybody hopes that they can. Well, I think that's I think you're not concerned about Celtic in the league. I don't think.
No.
Considering how well they're playing, I think that the onus is to actually take that form into the Champions League and actually be competitive in the Champions League this season. Like the last couple of seasons have been disappointing, haven't they? Even though great ties and great atmospheres that you're always going to get, but not really been anywhere near it in terms of being actually competing.
What was your favourite Champions League night? AC Milan?
Probably Benfica.
That you scored?
Aye. Probably I had other good nights in the Champions League, but that was a night I think just felt like everything I'd done was coming off. everything I'd done was actually working, and scored the winner and the 1-1-0. Just a brilliant night.
See for the Champions League now, so it's eight fixtures.
Aye, 8 games.
And is it seeded still?
Aye.
So how does it add out? If I'm not even sure.
So definition they've changed the Super League into a Champions League format, haven't they?
So is there just sort of, is it still 4 pots or is it 2 pot? What is it now?
Is it no?
I think it's Daily Smith's pot, so you sorry.
Trying to get her in. She went through the whole show now. I could be completely wrong here. I'm sure it's 2 league tables, mate.
How do you think Celtic will do in the Champions League?
I think they'll do well, but I see that every season.
It can be 2 league tables.
Nah, it's definitely no league tables. I don't know what
Are you sure? Well, I thought it was 2 league. This is mine. This could go viral.
You are
here.
a European correspondent, so...
No, I've only taken this for Football Manager when I played it because they were years ahead. So when it got to that year, the format changed because of the years, and they thought that format was 2. I'm sure it was 2 16s, and the 2 league tables, the top 8 went through.
And then the next 8 went to a playoff.
Something like that.
Aye, but it's still the one table.
Just one whole league table.
Aye.
So
I just don't know how the seeding works. I don't know if you're a good seed.
Good to have a correspondent, a European correspondent.
Well, you're meant to be that person.
Aye.
So what about Jinx? How Jinx Celtic?
In my mind, I think they'll do well. Just the way they've started, I think the midfield, if they can keep O'Reilly, that midfield three is brilliant. I really think that. But then they've no, apart from the keeper, nothing's changed for last season, as in personnel.
So we'll qualify.
But performance-wise, so far, it's changed, isn't it?
Well, listen to this. This has been going a bit.
I'm going to say it once, and I'm recording it. Bastard, I've got chocolate, my phone melted. Oh, I'm going to say it once, keep it, and the reason I'm recording it so it's there for all season. Celtic will get to the quarter-finals of the Champions League. And I don't know after that. So, they might get put out, or they might be put, but I'm guaranteeing you they'll get the Champions League.
You kind of just went back in that already then. You said you know sure they'll do.
He never knew I had that. He said that to somebody else. And then he's sitting there in front of all the viewers and he's lying.
Who sent you that?
Tell.
How's that get out? Seriously, I do think they'll do well. Right, I do. Just be a year on with Rodgers and they're looking much better than they were last season under Rodgers. But I just question myself sometimes, as in they've no strengthened, have they? For last season's squad, apart from the goalkeeper.
I think the fact you can't drop into Europa League now is fucking stupid.
Aye, I don't get that.
I think that's shite.
Aye, I don't get
but
that.
But if you don't finish your top 8 and you go to the playoff round, if you lose that, you should go to the Europa League, no?
I suppose I know what you're saying, but I think they've married that though with giving you more
Two
games
more
in the
games
Champions
and more
League,
money,
more
aye.
money, do you know what I mean? But
what do you
I do agree with that.
I don't know enough about. I need to go back and do my research. You've not explained it properly. If you explained it properly,
no. What do you think Celtic? How do you think Celtic?
I need to go and read up on the competition. Then
no.
You know.
But in the games, how do you think?
I think they'll do all right.
That's enough.
I know it doesn't seem that way because they finished bottom in the group, but they're not a million miles away, are they? Like performances wise, it has been sort of nip and tuck in quite a few of the games, but it's just. I think they need to win the home games this year. I know we spoke about that last year, and performances were there in the home games. I remember the Lazio game, the Atletico Madrid game, but you need to win the games. But they're not far off. They're no.
You said your best. What was your worst night in Europe for Celtic?
A few of them as well.
Bratislava?
Oh, Bratislava, man, wow.
That was Strachan's first game, wasn't it?
Strachan's first game.
Phone
one as a sub as well. So we were, I think Big City actually, I actually didn't play that bad that night, but I remember I stuck the ball over the bar from about 4 yards out, and they ended up winning 5-0. But and we won 4-0 the home leg. But if I had scored that goal, we'd have went through. When you think
away goals.
When you think back on it, if I had scored that goal, we'd have went through. I actually played all right that game, apart from the miss. Man United away, Old Trafford, got up to about 70. Poor game. Copenhagen away. Terrible game. Terrible game.
What, just couldn't get by the fullback?
Couldn't really get on the ball. Every time I got the ball, like miscontrolling it. Every part, when you start overthinking things, confidence is a massive thing in football.
Just concentrating on every touch.
Concentrating on a pass.
That's
go,
mad,
keep the ball here, keep the ball here.
Just control it.
Just control it, then go, keep the ball here, then you actually start to play negatively because you want to keep the ball. So you go to pass the ball back the way, and you end up giving the ball away as well, even just trying to make a simple pass. Copenhagen probably sticks out.
Is it only really in Europe that you had the thoughts? Because I wouldn't imagine you having the thoughts on an SPL game.
No, I wouldn't have those thoughts in general. I try not to. I remember trying to get out of that. Everybody's human, isn't they? Everybody's human. It doesn't matter the top level, get the elite footballers in the world don't have that problem. That's why they're the best.
Yeah.
I think everybody's got an element of that. It's how much that creeps into your game, I think, can affect you. But I suppose I used to always think if I give the ball away the first time I get it, I'll probably have a bad game. And I kind of got out, as I got older, I got out of that. I thought it just doesn't really matter. It's your next action, but you do always, if you give the ball away 5 times in a row, you're like, right, you need to kind of just take the full back on again and lose it again 6, 7, 8 times. Then I suppose it was Tommy Burns that said to me, look, you can actually do that, because if you beat the full back once and we score 1-0, that's your job done.
See, on that, did you watch Man U Fulham on Friday?
I watched them, mate.
Aye.
How many times did Bruno Fernandes get the ball away in a row?
He moans at everybody else, mate, as well.
Honestly,
But see what he said, he doesn't give it. He doesn't
That's
give
what I was
it.
going to say. Doesn't
I love that though.
And the next
amazing,
time he
mate.
gets the ball, he'll tie an
Try the
outside of the
harder.
foot through ball or
Amazing,
something like that. Like that, you're
He
talking
annoys
about
me,
mentality. He doesn't care, does he? Like,
Even
I'm going to
Docker
create a
yesterday,
chance every time I get the ball.
Docker couldn't, but he just kept going by people, mate. He just doesn't care, mate. Brilliant.
Do you think he's earned that? Like, you think that the best players in the world have earned that right though, to be able to do kind of these form over the last 3-4 seasons at Man United? Has he earned that?
Definitely, but again as well, like when people talk about Bruno Fernandes, they talk about him not being a leader. You know what I mean? They say soft. That shows he's no soft, does it? Like that's someone that doesn't care. Like what the crowd is going to say about you, I'm going to try and create chances every time I get the ball. But imagine that was in Scotland genuinely.
Oh, yeah.
You gave the ball away that many times.
Terrorised, mate.
No,
Even if you've earned it, you're off.
No, you don't want it, but...
No. See that Bratislava game?
You fuck one.
Hide mate,
Do
innit?
you fuck?
Hide.
Oh,
Standing
hide.
next to the fullback again, like,
Is it?
No
Yeah,
games
it actually became unbelievable at hiding.
Oh, you could do it easy,
Oh,
mate.
couldn't you?
Easy.
There was ways. Sometimes you'd actually speak to the opposition and just say, listen, mate, just step in front of me as much as you can. You actually became that good at doing it. It became nuts. But Aidan, I'm on to ask you, and I think I ask you this every single time you come on this podcast, but why do you think it's changed so much from when you were at Celtic in Europe to now?
I think not having European football or not having Champions League football for such a long time has hindered the club as well. But if I'm being totally honest, it's probably the standard and the gap has got bigger.
The clubs used, mate, the teams used.
I know I've had this debate with people before as well, and then people, I've said that and then I've kind of contradicted myself by going, but then again, we used to play against the Champions League, like AC Milan, Barcelona teams, and we still managed to compete with them. Maybe it's the standard of the SPL has got lower, the standard of the league's got lower. From then, I mean, I'm not saying it has. It's hard to actually put your finger on exactly one reason for it. But
See, when you did qualify for the last 16, did you just play defensive football? Was it sitting behind and then hit them on the break?
there wasn't really any out and out tactics to. We didn't play it like under Strachan and stuff.
But you should play like 4-4-2,
We played 4-4-2, so 4-4-2 generally as you are a defensive team, aren't you, pretty much? 4-4-2 in Europe is really difficult to play. I remember playing wide in Europe under Strachan, and it was like graveyard shift, to be fair. But when we played against, I don't, it's just, it goes without saying, when you play against AC Milan and Barcelona, you know you're not going to have the ball, don't you?
Yeah.
So you have to play defensively. You're not running all over the pitch trying to get the ball off them. You're actually making it difficult for them to beat you.
Remember Martin O'Neill's teams used to beat like Barcelona and Juventus and that?
When Martin O'Neill.
It was like 4-3 though, wasn't it?
Aye.
Proper attack.
Well, Strachan beat Man United, AC Milan. I think it was Barcelona as well in there. Maybe no, Lennon beat Barcelona. But they qualified when Strachan's team qualified, didn't they?
Yeah, last
We qualified twice.
I think you're like
I
think you're like the best like Rangers teams in Europe under Walter Swift, and it was clean sheet first.
No, it was defensive. That European run, remember? Ferguson played off the front, didn't he?
David Weir was basically a sweeper, like just clean sheets all the time.
Well, Celtic don't play like that. They don't, like under Ange, they didn't play like that in Europe, did
But do you think, I think it was more effective doing that back then than what it would be now. I think if you go and play defensive like Rangers did that run, I think you get battered now in Europe now.
Aye, maybe aye. I do think like some of the you're saying like playing against Juventus and that they were always good, they're still good now, but I think like see like your Benficas and that, like they're selling people for like 50-60 million every transfer window now. So I think they teams have took a big jump like financially compared to like where Rangers and Celtic probably were in terms of the gap back then, but the top teams were always the top teams and still the top teams. I just think that sort of next bracket of teams are proper teams now. Like when Benfica played Rangers last year, they were miles ahead of Rangers. Yeah. The boy João Neves, who then signs for PSG for whatever it was, 60-70 million. I remember him in that game. He's just miles ahead.
It's a fascinating debate, isn't it?
It's because you see Mallorca last night, I was messaging you two when it was playing. Like Mallorca were good against Real Madrid, mate. Like why can Why can Celtic not go and play like that against Real Madrid? I mean, you think Mallorca are miles better than Celtic?
I think
Do you see that in the league? Though most teams, but even the teams doing the boat and everything, they all sort of play like that.
I think that the difference is in Europe, it's a one-off game though. It's a double header, but it's a one-off game where you need to get a result. If Mallorca get beat last night 3 or 4-0, it's not making any headlines, is it? So they can play like that, I think. But again, I think it's due to culture. Why do Spain Spain and all these countries have conveyor belts of talent just every 10 years, world class players, and you're probably struggling to remember the last world class player that Scotland produced. And everyone's like, what's the problem? Surely it's got to be coaching and the way you
play.
You actually play football.
Yeah.
You said not one player kicked the ball long last night, did they? Mallorca?
Was Mallorca's performance any different against Celtics against Atletico? Do you know what I mean? If you're just talking about one-off games.
I know, it's just because it was Real Madrid, mate, who have just signed like Mbappe and
they were all a bit embarrassed. Total embarrassment name up
last night.
Mbappe, no. I know what tuning a guy like me can't be really slagging him.
They had a shocking first 2 minutes, didn't they? That was it, done.
I'm actually, just to let you know, the research is starting. My heart's full into the Scottish football, but I'm going to be going into Barca and Bilbao this Saturday to start my research into...
What, you're going to the game?
Aye, because if you noticed...
Black won his first game, didn't he? Beat Valencia.
Aye, and do you know he started 3 17-year-olds?
Amazing.
I mean, Barcelona are one of the biggest... No, they've got financial problems, but they're one of the biggest clubs in the world, and they're playing 3 17-year-olds. That is remarkable, isn't it?
That is. It shows how good they are as well, though. But
and
how can you do it, though?
When they come in, Aidan, they just fit right
seamless, because they've been playing that way in every system since they've been fucking 10.
I mean, I made my debut for Motherwell. My first thought was fucking kick somebody right up net. Just so people can see fucking
coaches would be, but see if you'd done that on your debut, mate, coaches would be buzzing, man.
Cheering at the side.
He knows what it's all about. He gets it.
But with them, they just fit in seamlessly.
And you'll be going to the gym with Guillaume Balaguer over there?
Well, if Guillaume is listening, we would love to get a sauna session with him, but no just that. I don't know whether I would like to talk to
Slaney's sauna session, by the way.
With Guillaume Balaguer.
An interview in the sauna.
Aye, that could be good.
Guillaume Balaguer.
I'd want to chat.
Aye, but I don't know, do you know what, mate, it'd be... Don't want to sort of end it shortly if I'm going earlier, but I'm not a big fan of him. Guillaume, I'm not a big fan.
Why not?
I just think he talks nonsense, to be honest. I would rather, to be perfectly clear with you, I would rather speak to the coaches earlier. How you get access to that, I don't know. I don't know if you've got any contacts when I'm earlier in Barcelona. Try to speak to some of the youth coaches and go through. And
that'd be great.
Because I want to make it a proper show. I don't want to just go earlier and jumping about with fans.
Guillaume,
just me and Guillaume, me and him in a sauna.
But the day, it's like you say,
I think I'd rather watch you having a sauna than the coach.
I bet you all the Spanish teams, like, the way the first team play, I bet you all youth team plays like that to about under 12.
Right, Falkirk v Hearts. Bad result for Naismith.
I'll start with Aidan. You start. You're here on the show. I'll keep talking shit. You start.
No, that's all right.
You need to ask him a question.
No, you said it.
Falkirk v Hearts.
Falkirk v Hearts. Aye.
I said at the very start talking about AYR. Like Falkirk came up last season, but I remember we played them in that Trust Trophy, and they were actually brilliant. Like, not any outstanding individual players, but see the way they played and see the way John McGunn's got them playing. Every single player knew what they were doing on the pitch. Every single player knew what they were doing from throw-ins. I think his analysis is, I think it's quite intense. I know a couple of the boys there, but I think Falkirk, we played them in the League Cup as well. We ended up beating them. I think we beat them 1-0, but they hit the bar like 3 times against us. Like, really impressed with the way they play.
They were good against you at Hibs as well. Is that the game you took? Remember you played them?
So we got them twice. So we played them in the League Cup when I was at Hibs. They beat us.
On the telly, they were good.
They beat us. Same kind of thing. I mean, we had them in the Trust Trophy when I was at AYR last season. We never really worked on anything that Falkirk were going to do. And I was like, I know exactly how this game's going to go. Done it last season. I know exactly how this game's going to go.
You've never worked on anything that Falkirk were going to do?
No, loosely worked on them, but I was like, no, we have to really work on them because they actually they do know exactly what they're doing. They've got a way of playing, and they battered us. Like, they beat us. I think they beat us 1-0, but we never had the ball at our own half. And
then on the Hearts side, I think there's another 8 changes for Naismith. Were you surprised there was 8 changes, or because of how bad the Dundee result was? You expected it?
Obviously they've got Europe on Thursday as well, but it's like I say, like, look at the changes they've made generally. It's like Spittle coming in, Boys coming in, Halkett.
That's why you've got a big squad.
Craig Gordon, like top players that have came in. It's not as if they brought in 4 kids and expecting them to go and steamroll Falkirk. And I actually watched quite a bit of the game, and Hearts actually started the game very well, some of the chances they had. But then, like you says, Falkirk had periods of the game where they dominate the ball, and you could see Hearts then get frustrated, start jumping out of shape, and they're composed and brave enough where they'll play through. But in second half, you've got to say, like, Falkirk definitely deserved it. Second half, they had a few chances. I'm the same. We played against them in pre-season this season, and they're a very good team.
The first
It's like, see when the Falkirk goalie puts the ball down, everyone knows exactly what's going to happen.
Was he the first goal?
movements that you need to make. See when Hearts put the ball down to play for the third goal, is it second goal, third goal? It looked like they had no clue.
It was only 2-0.
Or to the second goal. Puts the ball, you could tell Hearts players had no clue when the ball got played to the left centre back where the next pass was going. You could tell.
The first goal Falkirk right after the training ground. It's beautiful to watch. If you watch it back, it's brilliant. Straight into centre mid. He sets it out wide. They catch Hearts out, but they were brilliant. But that being said,
But why is that seen as such an uncommon thing in this country that a team does that?
Because someone's adapting and changing the norm, aren't they? Because that's not normal here.
But surely that should be the norm, that you work on things how you play now.
I know.
Exactly.
No, of course, I totally agree. But I think Aiden's spot on, and Andy, we Falkirk were they're excellent to watch. But for me, that is a disgraceful result for Hearts. They finished third last season, Falkirk in League One last season, and I'm not taking it away from Falkirk because they're looking great this season as well. The boy Calvin Miller was excellent, but they've got good players. But for Hearts to finish third last season, I don't think it looks good in the top league at all. What I've just seen earlier the weekend,
Spartans beating Ross County.
I think it's disgraceful, and I'm not taking it away for the teams because that is brilliant for them. But for me, Hearts the third best team in the country with the players that they've brought in. They should be blowing Falkirk out the water.
Spartans nearly beat Hearts last year as well. 1-0, wasn't it? Hearts scored it.
2-1. 2-1. Spartans went 1-0 up.
2 years ago, Spartans were in the Lowland League. We played them twice. They were in the Lowland League, and then they're beating one of your teams in the top flight.
Do you know
I'm not taking cup shock's not going to happen, but it doesn't sit well with me, to be honest.
The best game I've watched so far this season was Falkirk Queen's Park. First game in the
That was a great game, wasn't it?
That's the best game I've
Candy
watched
Care
so
was
far
on
this
after
season.
In terms
that,
of
wasn't it?
entertainment,
In terms of entertainment, end to end, both teams try to play, both teams try to get after each other. Just the game in general was a right good watch. Whereas, that's probably been the best out of all the games I've watched.
Wee Dylan Tate's doing well, is that what you're talking about? He's doing well.
Miller's
Very-
brilliant. Calvin Miller's excellent for
Very
them.
good.
it shows you what a manager can do for you though when you
He
can re-energise and reinvigorate your career. Because he was down in England for
Down
a
in
little
South, it didn't really work. I don't think he enjoyed his time down there, and he's came here and he's been excellent.
But do you not think you are always going to stand out better in a team that has got an identity where you know exactly where you're meant to be on the pitch? It just makes everything so much clearer for you, nah?
You know exactly what you're doing when you get the ball. Or not exactly what you're doing because the
But you know
decision
your
making
options that you've got.
Your options that you've got, but the decision's always in your
Up to
hands.
you.
A coach can't tell you what to do with the ball, but here's what you could do.
Yeah.
Just makes everybody's life so much easier.
You played when he was at Everton. Could you see him going into management back then?
I could, to be fair, because I remember I would be going home for training and he'd be like staying behind doing his B licence, and we'd be doing it 28, 29 at the time, and I know it's not young to be doing your B licence, but I was like, what are you doing, mate? And he was
Stop being busy.
I was like,
That's
stop
definitely a stop being busy shout, innit?
yeah, how busy are you, man, staying to do your B licence? Not thinking at all, like, I wish I'd have done it back then, I wish I'd done my badges back then, but I remember speaking to him, you know, when you're actually doing like your B licence, your A licence, and I'm thinking all the coaches and managers that I worked under, and you're trying to remember some of the sessions that they put on. You've got them in your head, but you can't exactly remember how they set them out. And I was like, do you remember like some of the sessions that Martinez done? Because Martinez had a different session every single day. No training session was ever the same. And I was like, bit amazing to do that, because you don't want to do the same passing drill all the time, do you? He's like, I used to go home and I'd just put them on my laptop, like back then.
Right.
I was like, send them. Never sent them, obviously, did he? Kept it himself.
I'm not sharing them ahead. Was he doing that?
Aye, he was
Not
doing
many
that
players
back
would have been
then.
doing that.
No way.
Brilliant idea to do it, to be fair.
I said to you, to be fair, I really enjoyed his training. Even though I was basically binned, wasn't I, when it was sort of his period, but I always enjoyed the training, which probably helped me, because if I didn't
you're not
enjoy the
playing,
training, my head would be gone. I would just be dreading every single day. But the training was actually good, so I did enjoy it. You can see that he's probably, like he says, probably took notes of the guys that he's worked under in the past.
And he played with Daley Smith as well. He said he took a couple of recipes for as well.
That's right, when he was at Norwich, aye. That's right.
Hey, did you want to see in a few years' time, will you want to go into coaching?
He's doing a bit now, isn't he?
I'm doing a bit now, to be fair. I do enjoy it, like, to be honest, the last year at AYR, in terms of playing and stuff like that, it hasn't been amazing, because I've been injured quite a bit, and change of manager, obviously, with Scott Brown coming in, has meant that I'm not really part of his plans. I'm not going to play, but see, last year off the pitch and coaching, it's totally opened my eyes to. It's been so helpful for probably the next part of my career. But in terms of coaching, I love helping players. Like, people ask you for advice, and you say like a winger, for example, like Jake Hasty the other day, is like, anything you could see like from the game last week, and I was like, I'll cut your clips for you. I cut his clips, and then I sent them, and then we looked at them, and I says, see here, do you not think you can maybe take the man on there instead of trying to pass back? He was like, I could probably cross my right foot. I was like, let's work on your right foot crossing training. Like I love doing
Brilliant.
stuff like that, and I love
Brilliant.
helping players and doing kind of. I've taken obviously sessions and stuff like that since I've been here, but I just like helping players. But in terms of coaching and being a manager, I don't know if I don't want to be a manager, to be honest with you.
Why no? What would put you off being a manager?
I just think, regardless of how you do, like you're always going to get the sack, aren't you? And you're always going to unplease so many people at some point.
I know, but
and is it really? No, it's not really about that. But is it really worth the hassle? In my opinion, is it really worth the hassle to be? I mean, I see managers now, and you're dealing with everything. Like Scott Brown, for example, is literally on his phone all the time, or he's training, or he's staying at the training ground planning tomorrow's session. They're all looking at analysis and stats, and then clipping the stuff for who we're playing at the weekend, and clipping our own clips and positives from the weekend as well. I just think it's a lot of work, and it's not that I don't mind the work. I prefer the other side of football, if I'm being honest. Like kind of eventually maybe try to be a director of football. I know it's not going to happen straight away, but recruitment, I like recruitment as well. I think that's I'm really interested in that as well.
Perfect.
I've been looking at this next question saying I cannot.
So the
work
question
out
is, we've asked Andy before when he went down to Middlesbrough, there's a lot of Celtic and Rangers players end up going for playing against them, not liking it, or being pals. Was it a similar story with you and Naismith?
I absolutely hated them, to be honest with you, off the pitch.
Did you, huh?
Hated playing against.
Did you argue on the pitch a lot?
Yeah, we did. I used to say to him, I remember, and he would say this as a lie, but I used to say, mate, mind that time you shot yourself for me when he used to play for Killie, because he was one of the guys who used to always moan at everybody in the pitch. Would have been the same when he played at Hearts. Noise every single player up. But see when he came off, nicest guy ever. And I think I get sent off, and I was waiting for him coming off the pitch. I was like, right in. I was like, on in, and he was like, all right, mate, what is it? And I was like, oh, right, so doesn't really want it. And I said to him, mate, mind you shut yourself. He was like, pure lies, mate.
And then you got
actually got on.
What was that, under 19s or youth team or something?
That was like youth team,
yeah.
Dan Park. I remember it like it was yesterday. But the whole team wanted to kill him because he was just noising everybody up. He was saying, oh, you're pish, mate, you'll never make it. You're a Celtic, mate, you're just cleaning boots, mate. Like stuff like that. He was brilliant on the pitch, to be fair, but just remember the one there when he does like to give players a bit on the pitch. And I remember we played Arsenal. They're quite ruthless, to be fair. And I'm thinking, how can you actually say that to people? Just the fullback that's saying, is it Callum Chambers? Callum Chambers. So he was at Arsenal, right? I think he'd just been bought by Arsenal, and we were playing Arsenal at Goodison Park, and he's tried a diag, and it's went straight out of play, and he's like, mate, you're not good enough to be trying passes like that. And Callum Chambers just didn't sell it back to him. I was like, mate, give him a bit back. He just said nothing, so he could get in people's heads that way.
I love that.
He's like, I can see that, I know. I can definitely see that. Did you play with any other Rangers players? No, you don't want one.
Try to think actually. I don't think so. I would have played with guys that played for Rangers in the youth team and stuff like that. But played with loads of Rangers fans. There's never not got on Mendy.
Would you and Naismith talk about games that you played a lot? Would you speak about Celtic Rangers games?
I would speak about it. I would speak about Celtic games and Rangers games and stuff like that, and talk about youth team games because he was at Killie. But we get on well, and we don't keep in contact as much now. To be fair, he's busy all the time. Being a manager, I text him and again. What always happens is he'll put something on Instagram, and I'll reply to him, battering him, and he'll not even reply to me.
You love that on Instagram.
He'll not even reply to me, but then he'll reply to one of my stories, from nowhere, battering me. The exact same, it just always happens.
Clubbing you away with Scotland when you were younger? Rangers boys, did you go on, or was it?
Oh, Jordan McMillan was one of my. I love Jordan McMillan. Funny as fuck. He used to kick. He was centre mid for Rangers. I was centre mid for Celtic. I was a player.
So during the games, you would
he would just kick fuck at me constantly. But as a guy, I loved him, mate. No, Stevie Lennon, not a good boys. Got on really well with him.
Andy, what about you? I think we've asked you this.
Celtic, so at Middlesbrough, Mick, Barry Robson, Willow, Scott McDonald. Hated Robbo and Scott McDonald at first. Hated the two of them. Mick was brilliant with me though when I first went down. Aye, he was really good. He was one of probably the first ones, I would say, him and Tomo.
You never go for a pint of Guinness quite a lot, wouldn't you?
No, definitely not. But the first one that actually sort of made you feel like a first team player, even though I probably wasn't. I was only 17, 18 at the time. Whereas Robbo and us, were the opposite, man. Fucking hell.
Robbo hard work as well, man.
I think Scott McDowell was probably worse though in training.
I'd agree with that.
The moaniest guy.
I hate
ever.
Get the ball in the box.
He used to run like that, didn't he? Just get the ball in the box. Just moan constantly, mate.
He was my worst nightmare, Scott. Not my worst nightmare, but I used to be able to like know how to handle him, but constantly, whenever you get the ball wide, don't even try and beat the defender.
What you would say?
Get the ball in the box. Just constantly get the ball in the box.
Get the ball in the box.
Fair, he did score loads of goals. I always actually use him as an example where he's actually smaller than me, but see the amount of headed goals he scored when it was actually just him being free in the box, and that's all you need to do as a striker, don't you? Don't need to be like getting across the front man, just like be double movement. Just
see, to be fair, I'm not saying for a minute that I ever thought he wasn't a good player, but having trained with him and played, he's miles better than what I thought he would be. Like, very good, mate.
How strong was he?
Strong as an ox for his size. Good touch in that, like can use his body well, good finisher. Like, he was probably that season under Strachan, he was better than like any of the other sort of boys that came up for Scotland. He probably had the best season ever. And Robbo as well had a good season.
He scored a lot of big goals, didn't he? He scored Europe. He got Europe in that, didn't he?
He scored
Rangers goals.
He scored them up against Barcelona. I set him up, but it was probably the worst cross of all time. But I've cut inside and dinked it and seen him at the back post. But he was literally at the edge of the box. Do you remember it? And he's went like that backwards and headed it, and it's went over Valdez. You don't remember it, do you?
I do remember it.
No, he doesn't.
I do remember it.
Doesn't
I do.
No, he doesn't. Me and Flecky, but obviously Celtic Rangers, we were best mates. Went away with Scotland, and he stripped me naked in his room and left me out in the balcony and shut the door. I was stuck out in the balcony, ball naked.
Well, that wee thing.
With Scotland, but that
They wonder it's what's divorce. You and Flecky look like each other a wee bit though.
Yeah, but the ginger part, but no really facial wise, but he was. I mean, how good was he, Andy?
Joke.
What a player.
Who else did you argue with a lot? Celtic, outfield players. I know Arthur obviously, but
Arthur. I think Arthur argued with everybody, to be honest with you. Probably more. I probably argued with everybody too. No one in particular. I used to argue with Robbo because Robbo, Scott McDonald.
no, there was somebody that played centre mid that would always go back to the right hand side. Was it Crosas?
Paul Hartley.
Was it Hartley? He would never
Paul
open
Hartley.
up
Eye patch in his left eye. I'm like, mate, eye patch in your left eye. What? But is he? Oh mate, you're so frustrating.
It would come to the right hand side and he'd go back to instead of opening his body and playing at him.
Or he would go. See when he played for Hearts. He was like box to box midfielder, wasn't he? When he came to Celtic, I don't know where he was wanting to get there his whole career. He kind of changed his game a wee bit and went a wee bit safer. But he would get the ball off, say Barry Robson or the other centre mid, and he'd be like on the left. He'd be coming across the pitch, and you're going, still your left foot, break the lines into me, and I've coming off the line. Would never ever do it ever. Straight inside of the foot pass, straight to Lee Naylor, and then the
He's got a guy.
I'm like, guys up my arse. I'm like, Zico man, Zico mate. Even a wee outside of the foot one,
Just a wee
outside of the foot through the lines, never.
Did you ever argue with anybody on the pitch in your own team?
I couldn't take somebody shouting at me.
So would you always have a go back?
I always, and it probably, I mean, there's not a bad thing, somebody moaning at you or whatever, but I took it really personal. Can't remember an individual that done it, but I didn't like it at all.
What about you?
Criticism.
If somebody played with it, you would always argue with?
Sorry, Andy, Paul
There'll be a
McGill.
few, mate.
Oh, me and Gills used to argue all the time.
Mate, my first game...
He thought every pass you had to pass the ball to him.
Me and him were head to head my first game about the Queen of the South. Because again, he was caning me, but I couldn't take criticism or somebody moaning, so the twos were head to head. Shit myself in the dressing room, but that was the first game with him.
It's like two dogs fighting, that, innit?
It's a
Two
bad
dogs,
fight,
somebody thought it was two dogs fighting. Yeah, anyone there?
I took it for a period of time off of Barry Robson at Middlesbrough, and there was one day I snapped and I felt like he stopped after that. But the one that stands out to me the most, I used to argue with Conor Golson all the time at Rangers.
Did you really?
Aye.
For what, no passing you the ball?
No, Conor was just one of them where, see, every goal that was conceded, it was blame culture. Do you know what I mean?
Fucking
It'd be a
runners,
striker,
I'd say
it'd be a yard
runners,
for him.
that's
Striker, a yard for him scored, but it was somebody else in front of him's fault. So I used to argue with him all the time about that. Not so much that, can't really think of any others after that. But it's more the ones, see the ones that want to blame everybody else but themselves. They're the ones that I'll probably
Centre
argue with
backs
the
are
most.
bad for it, innit? Fucking runners. Picking up your
goalies,
runners.
Runners, but strikers scored.
Exactly.
Strikers scored, but
Goalies, man.
runners.
Goalies,
Every single time a shot. How a goalie's not allowed to have a shot against them?
No,
But
but
a goalie saves a shot and then starts going, "Right, come on!" Well, somebody's just cut in, done a step over and hit a shot. Like,
but do you know what?
they don't have a shot against you in a goalie.
Do you know what annoys me the most about that?
Aye.
The goalies always
It's a
do it.
favourite,
The
innit?
goalies always do it after they've made a save. So when they know they've looked good, but it's like, fucking shut up, man.
It's the worst.
I think you get the ones as well that you know when you argue with them, they know it's for the right reasons, where some don't sort of see it that way. Some just moan for the sake of it, with just the moan. Do you know what I mean?
You wouldn't argue with quite a lot of people if you knew that was going to happen.
Aye.
I know that as
Aye.
well. I wouldn't even, if somebody didn't give me the ball, I'd be like, as I've got older as well, like you know what it's like now, the culture is different in terms of the younger players. I wouldn't just shout at somebody, be like on their case. But you'd be like, listen, see next time you get the ball there, could you maybe, you see me inside?
So it's more
As
constructive.
a more constructive as opposed to just shouting at them. And that's what we came through in, to be fair.
We spoke about that. See, when the teams were getting picked, you would always be terrified, wouldn't you? Depending on whose team you get picked on. Depending, you didn't have.
If I was on Lenny's team, I was a write-off, mate.
On Lenny's team.
Right off, mate. I'd been better standing on the side of the
What was he horrendous during training?
Fuck me, man.
Was he?
Lenny was bad, aye.
What about Roy Keane?
Same. Right off.
Not great, aye.
So where
Empty jersey, mate.
would Lenny be in comparison to Scott McDonald?
Worse. Lenny's worse. Lenny's worse,
aye.
mate.
Probably worse side, but
Lenny would
because
look at you
Lenny had so
Black bit of shit on his
disgust, man.
shoe, mate. He just look at
Oh
you.
my god!
What the
They like
fuck?
Training with this guy.
That is a worst
Training with
one.
this guy.
Look at you, just look at you, mate. Like,
You're like
the
that.
game would still be playing, mate, and you weren't sure whether you should keep running or you should just accept his stare and stand. You just stand and stare at you like
It's just
that.
that you don't know what to look, you know? You're looking everywhere.
You just
But
want your
you would
matter and go like
That's
that.
like you would rather somebody shout at you than that, like side eye like that.
Oh.
Just like, stay, that's the worst.
Oh, mate.
Was Larson like that?
No, he wasn't. To be
No?
fair, no, he wasn't. He probably was. He probably moaned about some of the players
Yeah.
to some of the lads in training, but he never showed it. He never did any bad body language or that. Do you know what I mean?
The body, but that kills
No,
your
he
body
wasn't.
language.
Alan Thompson was bad for it. If you were having a beast quietly and nobody was really noticing, he would. He's having a fucking look at the young lad. He's having a fucking shock. And he'd be like,
Oh,
Mate, Barry Ferguson was horrendous, right? But it never bothered me because I always thought it was like half the time it was shite what he was saying. Like his would be like, if I was a yard for goal and shot and missed, it would be I should have passed it back 20 yards to him. So when he moaned at me, I was like,
Whatever,
not
aye.
interested, aye. But his was like ridiculous stuff he would moan about.
just moaning for the sake of
Just for
moaning.
the sake of it, aye.
I thought Roy Keane was a bit like that.
I think Roy always had to say something though, didn't he?
Every
But Roy was
any-
next level. I think when Roy Keane came, that was when Sutty, Lenny, was Petrov still there? He was. I think he was still there. They were like the proper. They used to moan in training quite a lot, but when he came in, they just all quietened down.
That was amazing.
They just all quietened down. Aye, like massively quietened down.
I love that though.
That's
Do you know?
brilliant.
That's class.
He
Was Roy,
proper to go to Tomo, didn't he? Were you training the resis when Tomo was kind of binned off by Strachan?
And he's the real smart memory smash Fox. It was around about that time. It was.
I think he does. He smashed Willow as well, didn't
Smash
he? in
Ball,
training?
that's right.
But like Tomo was training with resis, and you can see why he was binned off at the time. He was training, wasn't even asked. Like obviously walking about and stuff like that. And Roy Keane had just signed, and he was trying to get himself back fit training with resis on like a Sunday morning. And Roy Keane's like, "You see, we don't want to be here. Like, fuck off." Like, like to Alan Thompson, and we were all like,
Wow.
"No one's ever really said that." to Tomo."
Did they say
And
it?
No, Tomo didn't really say it, and then Tomo starts running about. Started running about. I remember like everyone going, "No one's ever said that to Tomo."
Would Keane, see, you're talking about Hartley, would Keane pass the ball forward?
He would pass the ball forward. He was a very inside of the foot passer though, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Can you picture it right now?
Yeah,
You can,
yeah. It was back
Absolute
foot,
inside of the foot
set
passer.
and
was it Diodora? It was a Diodora,
Diodorus.
wasn't
But they came up to a bit there, didn't they? Shoot.
it? Was he similar as a coach Aiden when at Ireland, Roy Keane, like on you and moaning at people?
He wasn't the same way he was as a player.
Right.
He would say things though, but I think he realised like the landscape of football and the culture, like I said, was changing. And it wasn't going to be the same way when he was a player, but he would still have a moan quite a
He
bit.
hates Walters, didn't he?
Hates
Hates
it.
Jonathan
I think
Walters,
Walters,
right?
hates it.
Nah,
Brings
he's a
him
big
up all the time, mate.
There's obviously a thing there, isn't there?
Aye.
There's a reason
You know
we
it,
can't
but
let
you
go.
obviously can't say it.
There's a reason we can't let it go. Isn't there?
Aye. He brings it up all the time, man.
Is he still talking about Johnny Waters?
It gets brought up.
I was watching. I was listening to something not that long ago where he brought it up again, or somebody brought it up to him, and he started talking about it again. But aye,
I thought he's backed away for it a wee bit.
Walters looks like he can go, doesn't he? I don't think.
He's massive, mate.
100%.
He's a
100%.
he's massive.
big boy.
100%
Love
Johnny
to be
Waters.
in
man.
that.
I'd love
Do all
to have
that.
seen that.
I want to find that out.
Right, we're on to Rangers. What did you make of the performance? Did you watch it?
Yeah.
What did you make of the performance?
Didn't think it was great at all. Pass marks for the starting 11. Thought John Souttar had a good second half on the ball. Looked like John Souttar old actually. I think the start of the season he's been a wee bit shaky, but I thought the second half he was really good stepping into play. Boy, I think it was DB White to him out twice, so that was positive for John Souttar, and I think he needs to sort of find the levels he had at Hearts where he was outstanding. I know it's a different level, obviously.
But he has had a lot of different partners, isn't he? Like Big Roy Proper's injured again, isn't he?
I hate Big Roy Proper.
And John Souttar actually looks like Haley.
Ah, you're right.
Killie and Troy Proper.
Cafe after the game, man.
Analysing the game.
Fry up with a cafe.
Apron on.
But no, so for the start line, I don't think Rangers were great at all. But I thought Barron was very good when he came on.
Was he?
So we've said this for ages with Clement. It just doesn't seem a lot of times if it can control a game. I feel when Barron came on, they did have that where there was one instance in the first half where Tavernier gets the ball and there's about 30-40 yards of space with no player round about him. Whereas when Barron came on, he was coming in there to take it after Tavernier or a centre half to sort of link up. Thought Barron was really
Yeah, he's quite brave with Barron, isn't he? He does go and get it with a man if he's asked and take it.
Whereas in the first half that wasn't happening with the midfield three.
Which again would show you that that's never worked on, that where the centre midfielder should be when Tavernier gets the ball.
Regardless
who's think at Rangers they would go through that now.
No, 100%. Regardless of who's playing, it should be still there's an option there for him. Because Tavernier didn't have a great start getting the ball away a lot. But certainly Barron was really impressive when he came on.
Are you surprised that Danilo started?
When
he came on as a sub, has he?
He needs to get minutes.
He came on, I know, but has he came on as a sub before he started?
No.
I mean, that's sports science out the window, isn't it? Usually you're fucking 15
injury
minutes.
prevention.
I think he did say, didn't he, wanted to bring him on, was it the Kiev game, but
the 10
because of injury or something like that.
Right.
Yes, because of 10 men, sorry, he wasn't going to bring him on. I actually thought Rangers were slightly better in possession. I thought that instead of the 10 and the 2 holding, I thought the 1 holding and the two higher, I thought Diamandi was good again. I think he's a lot better when he's playing further forward. But out of possession, it's...
So who's that, Andy? Who was it?
Sterling, Dujon Sterling.
Right.
But I just think it's like I get 100% how Clement wants him to play forward quickly, right? Fair enough. But there's so many times, like I think you just touched on it there, where they've got no control because they try and play forward so
Straight
quickly
away.
that they're so disjointed. Where see as if there's one sloppy pass, the gaps between the full team are massive, where it's just easy for a team to keep the ball for the next minute or counter-attacking. St John's had a few chances, a few half chances.
They had the post at the end of the first half.
CDVI and Kim Pionka had a couple where they had really dangerous areas where it never really came to much. But in terms of in position going forward, they created miles more chances than they have done in the previous few games. They could have scored 4 or 5, which you couldn't have said that with any of the Hearts game or the Motherwell game or the Kiev games. I think they've not really been creating that much. I thought that was a bit better, but for the most part, still, I wouldn't say it was great. No.
What have you made of them this year? You seen much of?
Seen a bit of Rangers. Try to watch as many games as I can, but again, not being encouraged at all by the start. But the weirdest thing for me was that I know why they done it. A little bit of good news, I suppose, but the contract extension for Clement, when you're like
bizarre.
But bizarre. Like when you actually go like, still could get the sack within a year or 6 months. You never know, but. Not being impressed at all. Like the Hearts game, just I thought Hearts were the much better team, and people are saying, "Oh no, it's a new team and stuff like that." It's near enough the same team as last season.
Yeah.
Pretty much is the same team, same manager. Before Conor Barron played midfield, but just I don't think. I think there's still a bit of a hangover effect for the end of last season with that squad anyway.
Have you ever had that when you're at Celtic? Like, did you lose a league late in the season and it affected you going into the start of the next season?
Not really, but you know when the Celtic or Celtic or Rangers are the league leaders or the title winners, you know you need to start the season well. You need to win the league the next season. It's like that's done right, but we need to now win the league. But Celtic have just started so well, and Rangers I think still trying to find their rhythm. And you'd be expecting Rangers to swat aside St Johnston, wouldn't you? Like any other season, really. And
it's gone in the 90th minute before they get a second goal, and they've got a chance to equalise just before they go and score the second goal. So everything's still so cagey. Clement as well. I don't know if you've seen it, but he says that Rangers will not beat their best till October. I mean, how?
I know.
You've been there for a year nearly. I don't understand this. I get it. There might be still outgoings and ingoings, but they can't be till October before you're at top level. And you can see when John Souttar gets asked about it, you see he almost doesn't even want to answer the question. He's like,
that was awful.
Did they then ask him why October? Did he get asked that?
No, but I think he was sort of touching on how, like, obviously that, like, there's still people in the building that they're trying to get rid of, and they need to get rid of bodies before they get people in. But I think you should still be seen more for what they've got in the door after a 6-7 week pre-season, and you were in the job for 3-4 months before that, so the style should sort of still like be the same and getting better and better at that. Whereas I thought that was a bit. See, at the end of the day, see if you're going to not play well for now to October with the way Celtic are, you could end up 8 points behind.
League can be done.
Stupid
easily,
comment.
The VAR incident, what do you think?
What did you make of that?
I wasn't sure.
So the whistle doesn't go. The whistle doesn't go until the goal goes in, does it? But he's.
It's impossible to do. It's impossible to do. Like, you shouldn't. You can't actually let the game. If you think it's a free kick, you can't let the game play on.
I think
you can't let the game play on.
No, you can stop it there.
Stop it there. Then.
I think that what I seen Marvin Bartley talk about it on Premier after it. Like, I can understand what he's saying. Where the fact that the referees went in motion like that. I think if I'm a player and I seen that, it probably would affect me. I know everybody will say play at the whistle, but I think when you watch the replay, but Lewis Nielsen's the one that's defending Dessers at this point in time, and the goalie, none of them are looking at the ref, so I don't actually think it affects them. But I think for the way the referee's done it, I don't think it's good. Like, he's not blowing the whistle, right, which is obviously which hasn't affected him either. But I think the fact that he stopped, put the whistle to his mouth and actioned as if he's going to blow for a foul, I think it doesn't look great, does it?
Do you think, see when they were showing it back on VAR, they never really showed the incident properly though, did they?
I think
I've seen him in Premier.
It showed a couple of angles. I actually thought at first,
Thought it was like definite free kick.
I thought at first it was 100% a free kick, aye. Until it shows you the sort of front angle. Because it looked to me as if Dessers actually barges him in the back and that's the reason he goes down. But he obviously sort of kind of nudges him, but then when the boy stands on Dessers' foot, that's the reason he goes down. I don't think it's a foul. I don't think it's a foul at all. I think the main controversy is the way the referee gestured towards us if he's going to blow for a foul.
Guaranteed Craig Levine's walked about, have I told you just play the whistle? Remember your boys come on
all the time.
But I noticed he's binned the chinos, hasn't he?
He's binned the chinos, mate. They had to go for it. Fuck
no.
Yellow chinos. Fucking cream yellow chinos.
They actually look no bad, St Johnston.
Mate,
well, a lot better than two strikers are a proper handful, mate. Isn't they?
Kim Pioka's a handful, mate.
Aye.
Sunderland with me. Like,
was he?
Oh, aye, but
What, did he come through as a kid, or with
we signed him from that
that?
Swedish team when he was only about 15, but could do things with the ball like unbelievable.
But it's not even just pace; he's actually decent.
No,
as well.
But his step overs come up to here, don't they? The step overs come up to. He's only got to do a step over, but he's like behind his head. But
Stanley Matthews, innit?
Stanley Matthews, aye. Be Stanley. And he used to get called that.
Who's that? Who called that? Niall McGeady. I think it was you. I think it was him.
Was it me?
His one trick was he would run up to the fullback, kick it one side and run round the other side and be like, I've not seen that fucking tricks in Stanley Matthews. So for the rest of his Celtic career, he got called Stanley Matthews. That's brilliant. Just loved the cup of tea, didn't he, Niall? I said, DB's decent as well.
Aye,
he's got 500 grand buyout cause, isn't he?
Aye, they're both of them are proper handful.
Better than I thought they would be this season. I expect St Johnston to be right down there after last season, but actually look like a better team.
I know I'm jumping a wee bit here, but the decision on midweek in the Champions, I mean, is that no shock?
Who, Jefte?
It's one of the worst decisions.
But do you know what, mate? I can't work. You get these guys who, it doesn't matter what they are, right? And they're sitting around that table. How can they not understand that a second yellow card is a red card? Surely that just comes into the same rules I read that it must be reviewed.
So you're saying VAR should look at second yellow cards?
100%, because a second yellow is a red. A second yellow means you're losing a player. So as soon as that happens, it's so easy. Just check it and that's it.
All refs should stop being so bad.
Oh, no.
Because that
right.
shouldn't even need reviewed. Like,
but
that is that bad a decision that
he seemed like
should never even have got to that.
He seemed so quick to do that right away. And it wasn't even a thought. He just
check it.
Aye.
Just check it. 100%.
You're seeing a boy leaving the pitch, they're down to 10 men, and everybody knows round that's not a second yellow card. How that in this day, when they're saying VAR's coming into change, that can still happen is beyond.
It's a horrific decision.
You've sat in the VAR meetings before, haven't you? They actually go through everything and say, this is why we're doing this. And you go, why can't you check VAR for that, for example? And they go, we don't want to take up too much time. We can't check it for every single thing. I'm like, is that not really what it's for?
That's such an important thing to
exactly. So why would you have it then? Don't have it then.
That's what cracks me up when they say they don't want to re-referee the game. But that is literally what they're from. It's literally to re-referee the game and get right decisions.
Sorry.
Yeah, what I want to see with the Jefte thing, like, so Jefte gets booked right after about half an hour, and he gives away another 2 fouls after that. And I'm sitting like that, got to come off at half time. Got to. Because the next foul, no matter what it is,
he's going to do
he's getting red carded. And then they make a sub at half time, a winger, like, it's got to be him, and it's not him. And I just thought at the time, like, disaster waiting to happen there. He's going to get sent off at his next foul. That doesn't excuse, because it's not even a foul that he gets booked for. But I was amazed that he never got subbed at half time, just with the way the end of the first half went.
What about Sean Dyche at the weekend? Pumped 3-0 and after the game he's like, what about the 9 minutes I'd have done at the end? Oh, no. Sean, you know what, address your team getting pumped 3-0.
What was it, the decision he was talking about? Saying, was it the penalty or was it the goal that got chopped off?
Calvert-Lewin's penalty.
He was like, penalty all day. I was like, Really? Like,
Aye.
it's never a penalty.
Did you see the video for the stands as well of the referee watching the VAR screen?
No.
Have you not seen it?
No.
What game?
So the referee for that Everton games went to VAR to watch the replay of the penalty, and it just stays on the white VAR screen the full time. The penalty doesn't come up, and he's stood there for about 45 seconds.
Has he
and just
kidding
goes
on
back,
watching it?
No penalty. It wasn't what?
I never even watched it.
It wasn't what? The VAR screen wasn't what? And he was just standing like that for 45 seconds.
Does Big Dice you know that?
No penalty. Mate, you need to find it, it's mental.
Wow. It's fucked, isn't it?
But let's be honest, it's not a penalty, is it?
No, it's not.
It's not a penalty for me anyway.
That's a good thing.
No, it's not a
that's
penalty.
when you see instances like that. In the past, that's a penalty. Teaming absolutely distraught at a penalty given against them. That wasn't a penalty. So
I've seen a
that's
few
good part of it.
There's been a few handballs in Scotland this year that I think's been refereed a lot better. Like no being given penalties, where the ones are getting rattled after somebody for a yard. Well,
I think the one that obviously they're saying the rules changed a little bit, innit? But you think the opening day against Hearts, Barron's one. Do you think that's because I think last season that's definitely
Last season that's a penalty, but I don't think it should be a penalty.
No, I don't.
I don't think it should be a penalty because you
unless you go fucking like that,
you're putting your arms up to catch the ball.
Aye, there was one that I thought.
Get your arms out the way of the ball. Stand defend like that's actually impossible to defend.
There was one that I thought, I can't even remember. It might have been was it Celtic Killie? Was there one in the Celtic Killie game? I feel like a corner. But I thought the Killie boy actually had his arm quite high when it hit his arm. And I actually thought, I know they're trying to be a bit more lenient, but I could see why that would be given as a penalty. Can't remember who it was.
John Moss
Killie
is the
defender
guy,
at the back
isn't he?
post, and his
John
arm was quite high.
John Moss is in Scotland to be the head of VAR.
He's a manager on it.
One of the worst wee refs I've ever seen in England, mate. Nobody was like, come on up here and be.
Love to get
You're at least picking Howard fucking Webb or something, aren't you? Wee John fucking Moss.
Jeff Winter.
Aye.
Mind Jeff Winter.
Where they go to?
He's a
He's a big Rangers fan, isn't he? I'm a big Rangers fan. Penalty Rangers.
He was Mad Middlesbrough fan as well, him.
Oh, it's a blast for the past, isn't it?
John Moss, mate, and head in charge of refereeing.
I'd like to get John Moss on.
What was the English ref, the mad football hooligan that we used to talk about all the time?
Oh, Mike Dean.
Mike Dean.
He's an
Is he still refereeing?
He's still kicking the ball.
He's on Sky every. He speaks over the games.
So he does.
See that Dermot Gallagher, mate?
I think Mike Dean, I remembered one about Naismith there, like talking about giving people a bit on the pitch. I'm pretty sure it was Mike Dean. He said something to Mike Dean like having a go at him about a decision or something like that. Mike Dean's throwing it like that. Mate, you can't say it with the way you've played today.
I love that.
He's like,
you're an absolute shambles ref. He said something like that back to him. I was like, mate, class comeback.
I love that.
Amazing. What do you make of the scenes at the end of the game celebrating with the fans?
Oh, come on, aye.
Understand what they're trying to put a bit of unity, maybe, a bit of unity, trying to get the fans back inside, but it's not a great look, is it?
I think it is that's defo been something that's been pre-planned in it, like PR. Like it seems as if we're disjointed as a club, and he's obviously said to the players. But you could see if you actually watch it, like half the players are stunned like that. See all the ones that right hand said that about me.
No, reality was loving it.
It's all his mates, that's why.
All the ones in the left, all the ones in the left are bouncing dessels in it.
What are your thoughts on that though? When cause I know it's obviously it's a thing that Celtic do all the time. We go and celebrate the fans and walk around, but doing that after every single game, it never used to be a thing. 10, 15 years ago. You win a game, you just walk up the tunnel.
Go up to the fans and do that. I'd be like, fuck off.
Mate, imagine those signing for Celtic, right? And I know it's brilliant if like you're right into it, but there's got to be guys there who can't be into it whatsoever, who when they get told to dance at a wedding or something like that, or dance in a dance floor.
Forest last year, didn't it?
Got to stand and dance in front of the fans. They must be absolutely hating it.
And the fans like, how you not dancing? Dance! I'm fucking it. I'm dancing.
I remember when I was at Hibs, we played Celtic away, and my wee boy went to the game, but he was in the Celtic end, and we've just been beat 4-0, or 4-0 or 4-1. Walked up the tunnel. Next time I see a video of him on Instagram, like, he's just been beat 4-0.
What was it, Will Steve? What you used to say? He said in training all the time about something to do with a game in training.
Play cat and mouse, huh? He's just shouting to fullbacks.
Man.
Don't dive in. Play cat and mouse. Somebody shouts at.
It's like,
you angry yet? You angry?
Who did he do that again?
Michael Robertson. Fucking angry yet?
Well, he's a genius.
He's like, we're playing that jersey to him away, and Michael Robertson's like, I think he's like, went to save the ball and it's went under his arms. And like half time, like, obviously he's like, you know raging? Hey, you know raging? He's like, of course I'm raging. He's like, hey, fucking raging now? And he gave him like a wee slap, like a wee chap, like a wee slap on the cheek, right? But it was like this. We're on the bus after the game, I'm like, mate, you can't do that, man. You should phone your dad. He's like, I'm going to phone my dad at that point.
That's what he's done.
It was something to do with like training in a game.
Oh no, can you This was
Can
his
you
team
implement
talk about, hey, what's ever worked on this weekend's training? We've done the Leverkusen drill, we've done the Blackburn drill. Now, the challenge to you is, can you take that from training and implement it into a game situation? Let's go. You know, mate. Word for, I used to do his team talks word for word. That
was it.
Remember, who did he say had a fanny fringe? I think it was that same boy.
Somebody called somebody that. And
he thought it said
fanny
fringe.
He's like, hey, what's a fanny fridge?
We called somebody fanny fringe, and Willie heard it wrong, and he kept calling him fanny fridge.
Hey, me man, what's a fanny fridge?
Oh, what to see that? He'd come up to you. He wouldn't even make you just go to you and go, huh? No, like David Brent does it. Wally used to do it. Do you know so Chris McCart?
Chris McCart used to do that all the time.
Well, come on, just go out. What did he say?
Somebody was eating strawberries and McCart walked up and went, strawberries, eh? Boy was just still
And just walk off.
walked straight away. Oh, man.
Well, he was a genius, man. Right, what we want now? Killie to play Copenhagen.
Big result for Killie, wasn't it? He was very confident before the game, McInnes. I loved
That's what I like about Del. So see, after the last game, he's like, do you think the game's won? He's brilliant at that, isn't
I loved it. I
he? He
loved
just
it.
finds a way to get his players a bit extra.
Even bigger challenge now, innit? Copenhagen.
Copenhagen, that'll be tough.
Anybody know anything much about Copenhagen this year? Beat
No,
Man
they
United
had
last
a
year,
beast
didn't they?
against them years ago.
Last year, weren't they?
An absolute
Europe.
nuclear against them.
That was when they kicked on after that, wasn't it?
I kicked on right after that.
They played Man U, they beat Man U last year, didn't they? Am I right saying
Somebody
that?
says they've really dipped though since then. They've not been the same team.
Who said that? Game?
It was somebody on Danish media. He said that.
That'll be Gravison will be doing that.
So he will.
Does he do the Danish
He
media?
does Danish TV. We need to try and get a link to that.
Copenhagen always seem to have the best. They have the best players outside. That they always seem to get like young developing players. A wee bit like Russia and Ukraine, don't they? Young developing players who they can then sell into the Premier League and that. But they always seem to have a strong team. The Danish league, the top two, like Brøndby, Copenhagen, they do always seem to be quite strong. You'd obviously fancy that. You'd fancy them ahead of Kilmarnock, but like I know it's an unbelievable achievement for Kilmarnock to get to that stage. But I think years ago, but teams were always getting to. Used to be the Cup Winners' Cup. The Europa League.
I remember Aberdeen beat Bayern.
Aye, Aberdeen beat Bayern. Like teams were always getting like
Did Josh
saying,
Walker,
it's unbelievable that Kilmarnock have got there. Like teams were always like Scottish teams, second, third, fourth. Were always getting there to European football and getting like not quite far on.
Yeah.
It goes back to I suppose
So the
probably
Celtic
gap,
thing, didn't it?
innit?
Did you watch that Brann against St Mirren?
We were
She did
brilliant.
brilliant.
Mate, I thought they were
Brann were brilliant.
unbelievable, mate. Aye,
They looked
I thought they
brilliant.
were very good.
Proper playing out. through the line.
Proper playing it, but I had a couple of right good technical players as well. The number 8 was a joke. To the point I was at.
No, they did
Like,
look brilliant.
Celtic Rangers sign him. Like honestly, just be watching the game, but Simon couldn't get a touch.
I don't know.
No,
was that,
they were very good.
Was that away for home?
Both legs.
Was it?
Probably more so at St Mirren, but they were very good. But that Tromsø wasn't great, I
So
thought.
see, this
No,
is
no,
this
they
is
were great
interesting.
either.
So see on that side, that see when St Mirren won it back, which are usually good at, and the hit teams on the counter, was that Brand team even good at stopping that?
Well, no, but if they lost the ball, they would get after St Mirren
Straight
straight
away.
away. So they're just getting the ball straight back. But I thought that Brand. But that Brand, to be fair,
Again, that comes down to coaching, doesn't it?
Aye.
They're coached.
Aye, well, they're second in the Norwegian league, so like you're saying, like you mentioned a couple of teams in the Danish league, like Norwegian league, Bodo Glimt have been good for a while,
Aye,
and
they
like
look brilliant
Rosenborg,
that
they've
time
got
at
some
Celtic.
big clubs, so if they are second in that league, they must be. Whereas that Tromsø, I think, are like fourth bottom or something.
Do you not think though that what you're saying there about like if that's St Mirren playing against Brann, St Mirren are used to playing against that anyway, like Celtic and Rangers,
Celtic
where they
Rangers,
actually are
aye.
playing that. I'm not saying they'd end up beating Celtic and Rangers, but they probably have better performances, don't they?
Aye.
Normally.
That's why I'm asking, because St Mirren are usually good against Celtic,
Against
sitting
that, yeah.
in, winning it back, and then hitting them on the counter. But he said obviously Brand were really good
Oh
set
mate,
up
they
to stop
were
that.
very good. Aye, I was impressed with them.
I don't know what it is. I just fancy Killie's going to do it.
Do you, mate?
I don't. It's not really big.
I actually think. Sorry.
No. It's just I don't know much about the team up, but it's just I've got a right good feeling. I don't know what it is. They're going to do it.
We played Hearts. We played Rosenborg in the qualifier last year, and I didn't think they were great.
No.
Well, they're
Nah,
not.
we beat them. They beat us. I think it was 1-0 over there, and then we beat them 2-0 at Tynecastle. But I didn't think they were that great. But Copenhagen's going to be a different.
Aye.
They'll be very good.
Well, I sometimes think Dell's team are better against better opposition. You see, when you put Killie against a team that's quite similar, and they need to go and dominate the
They
ball.
get
I think
the
it suits them that much.
Suits them to be the underdogs a bit.
It suits them to be underdogs.
Aye,
So
no, great-
you could
great
be right,
point.
mate.
Hopefully.
I just wanted to ask the worst thing that Bratislava. What was the dressing note after that? Do you remember?
The dressing room.
That Celtic getting beat 5-0 in Europe.
I think I can't really remember
Like
the
disbelief.
just this absolute disbelief, shock, and then
Were they good, Bratislava?
no, they weren't even
You
good. To be
battled
honest
at home,
with you.
didn't you?
But we knew we had to win. We knew we had to score 5 or score 6 goals to go through, and obviously with 5 goals on it because we lost. Was it 5-0?
5-0,
5-0. We actually won the second leg 4-0. That's how bad they were.
Aye.
That's how bad they were. We won 4-0. It could actually been 5 or 6.
Yeah.
That never happens in Europe. You don't lose 5-0 away from home and then play a team at home and beat them 4-0.
Can you remember it playing any team with Celtic where like they're like minnows, nobody's really heard them, but you play them like that, they're ridiculous. They're a joke.
Great question.
With most of the teams in Champions League, you'd always
You knew they were
Like,
going to be
qualifiers or that. Can you remember any?
Because there was a couple of sticky qualifiers, wasn't there?
But that's what I mean. Like, there's a couple of teams where you
teams
go,
just write
it's
them off.
40
Remember
degrees,
Hibs
it's
played
dry,
Malmo?
and you're like, they're actually decent.
Do you remember Hibs played
Aye.
Malmo? It was Tom on that, and they beat them like 5. Malmo beat them 5.
See the qualifiers, I think, in there. Like normally, our qualifiers back then would always be against a top
Big teams,
a big team,
like,
a
Shakhtar
Arsenal
and
or
that.
something like a 4th place English or Italian team, and you'd always be like, so you know exactly who they are. Sometimes you get the odd Europa League team. Like I think we played Hapoel Tel Aviv, and you're like, this team will be absolutely rubbish, and you get every single player, and you go back to what I talked about last night, every single player is good with the ball, good with, no one gets the ball and just channel ball, like if you've done that, if you've got the ball at your feet the way the people do in Scotland and played a channel ball to literally nobody, like you'd look like you'd 3 heads, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You do notice that about these teams in Europe, even through any country, they seem to be a lot more
Possession.
Aye.
technically better.
We played Maribor, Gerrard's first year, and they were well better than I thought they were going to be. When we got the draw, we were like, brilliant draw for us. I did win the Slovenian league, but Slovenia, you don't really know much about the Slovenian league yet, but you played them, they're like,
Right there.
very good, aye. Like you're saying, everyone good with the ball, technically good football players. But aye,
And the fans write
surprised
them
me.
off though, don't they?
fans just expect you to go back.
You've got Maribor, you batter them. I mean, didn't get a touch for 90 minutes.
See if you get this out. What do you think Tony Mowbray done when Celtic got drawn Arsenal?
The gun.
Double gun.
Double gun.
Double. Definitely.
That was my favourite thing ever.
Remember how well we didn't actually beat Dynamo Moscow though? It was unbelievable how we came back. I think Sammy scored the winner, didn't he? And then we got Arsenal. Everyone's like, oh, it's actually the point.
And then Tony Mowbray. Tony Mowbray would have had a game plan, then Vino would like, shite.
Game plan
Lot
with
of
the shite,
shite.
lads. Didn't
So
listen
we're
to
going to play us. then Granty's that about Vino. Lost to him. See them contradict each other.
that. Amazing. Right, last wee bit. Tony Watt back at Motherwell. Good signing, Andy.
I think so, aye. I think especially with the injuries we've got attacking areas, I think we needed somebody else to come in because I don't know what the time frame is, but a lot of the injuries don't look great. It does if we're going to get them back pretty soon. So
Stevie
Tony's
Fields
obviously done well.
Stevie Fields doing extra rubs in his bedroom.
But listen, I always think it's important. I don't know if you feel the same. I think with teams at Motherwell and Scott, I always think it's good to get players that have done well in the leagues. And Tony's done well in the leagues for a few years. He's done well for Motherwell in the past. Done well for Dundee United up until the last couple of years where he's obviously found his out of the team. So I was happy we got him in. Aye.
It's a strange one when managers do that, where he goes from being such a big player under Jim Goodwin last season to straight away pre-season he's like, well, by the beginning, no part of it.
Aye.
I
And
understand
that
it's
is
a
literally
different
what
league.
it's been in it. It's like playing every week and to
no part of it.
yeah.
Give a shout out to your wee winger, mate.
Aye,
Came on yesterday, the wee winger was brilliant.
Lacking him now, mate.
Aye.
Well, no, this wee guy, mate, you're going to love him. He just gets it.
Can't
people
wait to
every
see him.
time.
You'll love him. You'll love him.
Aye.
Direct, gets the ball.
Who is it? What's his
Face
name?
somebody. Mate, that's I was hoping not to say it because it's like Masha Weenie or something.
You've nailed it.
But JT, that's the one.
JT.
He got released for Leicester in the summer. But apparently it was like a big thing for Leicester coming through. Played a few games for him with Maresca last year. Got released and he's just not found a club. I think he's trying to find a club and he played a trial game for us last week and
Ridiculous,
was like, get him signed now.
How's he been in training?
I know, but he was up
He's
against
not even
O'Donnell. wasn't
trained.
He was up against O'Donnell.
No, it was a bounce game against Everton.
O'Donnell got the move.
Bounce game against Everton.
All right, yes,
And we're like,
Was it that game?
Signed him and Everton's got to sign him
Sign
the way he
him,
played in the game. And then obviously just signed him straight before the game came on, made all the difference for us in the second
Out,
half.
like, technique, like out tricks,
Direct,
like,
descent, and you just get, every time he gets the ball, he got out, and it was Watson. So Watson's a centre mid playing right back.
But he's a wee dog, Watson. He's had
I
to
know,
get...
but he got booked after a minute.
Yeah.
So after that, you can see Watson didn't even want to get tight to him because I didn't want to get sent off, and it was brilliant.
I just love I think everybody loves watching players.
Oh,
like that.
100%. And see, to be fair, that's probably, we don't really have that. Like Sam Nicholson's probably our only like player that's, I would say, direct. He's like a ball carrier, he'll get at people, and the fact that he's injured for obviously a while, so I think he'll be a big signing for us, definitely.
What, 23 done well as well? Young boy.
Do you? Aye, no, he's done really well, mate. He's done well.
I never watched much. I was flipping your mouth for the full thing.
He's a talking
What a woman she is.
She's a legend.
I've ordered supplements that she's told us to get magnesium and turmeric.
Mate, honestly, man.
What's that? What you doing? What's it for you? What's your
So
reason?
the magnesium's for my sleeping, because obviously I'm not sleeping.
And allergies?
Just allergies are terrible, mate, honestly. And turmeric's for recovery.
You're saying you're not well now, aren't you?
Never well, mate.
What is that?
Something serious wrong. Can't sleep, mate.
Yeah,
You just can't sleep whatsoever.
I get terrible allergies at night. My nose, my fucking.
Are you up through the night? You never
Know what
take
I'm
you
bad
through the
for?
night?
I'm bad for getting up for a piss during the night and I can't get back to sleep.
That's a bastard, that, innit? Can I just ask Aiden this, and I know we're going on and I want to get on to other stuff, but...
Let's make this bit quick. It's fucking 8 o'clock at night.
Aye, I know. But I think there's a real lack of dribblers now. I really do.
Massively.
Why do you think that is?
Pep.
Pass. Oh, I hear when I go and watch
you?
kids football. Pass.
Do you? Do you think that's what you can do?
Constantly, mate.
It's pass, it's recycle the ball,
Recycle the ball.
It's as if no one wants to make a mistake now, either. Where's it gone? Like, a winger gets the ball and he just runs down the line and gets a cross in. Surely that's like, if you've not got any players in your team that can beat players, you have to create overloads everywhere, don't you? Worst thing in the world for a manager, isn't it? Try and create a 3v2 out wide, get somebody across. Or just have a guy who's actually good in the ball, go and express yourself and actually be like, go past that player. Oh, brilliant. Take somebody out of the game. I literally don't know what it's called, but it frustrates me watching football now.
I was exactly, I struggle now to watch football and to be excited to actually watch a player. You used to, back in the day, you go to see Celtic games or and even in the gyms, and you'd be so excited to watch these players on the ball. You very rarely see it now. That's why Spain was so refreshing.
Have you heard about Cruz talk about what he felt Pep done to German football?
No.
It's kind of similar to that. He's like, like German football has always been renowned for like 100 mile an hour gegenpress, people being expressive, and since Pep went into Bayern Munich, it was like everyone had to copy what Pep was doing in German football, and he was like, didn't suit us. So we went with the German national team, and it was all about this, keep the ball, control possession. It's not what we've done for years. We're never good at it. We've not got the players for it. That's why they were not doing well in major tournaments.
But do you know,
then he starts talking about how like Nagelsmann's been like the one to sort of bring back sort of German identity, what they're good at.
But Pep plays with two wingers, and his full reason of keeping possession of the ball is to get the ball
To get the ball
to
wide.
wingers to go and beat people 1v1. So how did I get the Pep criticism? His team scored more goals than anybody else, so how can you criticise him?
But I think it's people maybe trying to copy it and they're not getting it, and they don't know, they don't know, they've not got that real belief in them, what they're trying to coach, and they're maybe want to keep the ball possession, so they're maybe forgetting what, I don't know, I just...
I don't think it's Pep. I don't think it can be Pep. It can't be because you had Messi. You know?
I know, mate, exactly.
Messi, you know what I mean? But one of the best guys in the ball in the world.
What I will say is like you're talking about like wingers passing backwards. Like I watched Man City and Chelsea, and I still watch Man City's wingers pass it back loads.
Grealish does it a lot,
Just
didn't he?
keep the ball in
Grealish does
certain
it a
areas
lot.
of the pitch.
But it's acceptable now when a winger gets the ball in the final third. That is like when I was out, like when I played. Still, I'm playing, I suppose. Your eyes light up. That's you actually want a 1v1. Nothing better in football for me. Wingers now get the ball in the final third, and it's like, fuck, I've got it 10 times.
You need a 2v1.
I need somebody to overlap. Or, do you know what? I'll pass it inside. But you're going to pass it inside to the centre mid, who's just going to try and go out to the other side.
Yeah.
What's he going to do? Like,
What is it you're actually passing the ball for? Surely it is for that
pass the
opportunity.
ball to get a 1v1.
Of course. That's how I see football, mate. Keep the ball possession to get your wide players 1v1 and let them go and attack fullbacks.
Brilliant, it's nothing better to watch.
I know.
Anyway, sorry, I just wanted
just a wee tiny bit about his career. Obviously, Celtic Rangers game coming up, League Cup for Celtic. You scored a penalty 2-1 win back in 2009.
I was there. I was at that game. I remember it.
What's your recollection of it?
I remember it was Cup Broadfoot that gave away the penalty. I can't remember. Was that against you? That's all I really remember.
And is that the only reason you took it? It's because you won it, or was Dan scored? Dan
scored the header, so that
shoulder wasn't a header, a face shoulder.
I suppose you're probably right actually when I think about it. Very, very even game though, wasn't it? It was a very scrappy game. No team really had any clear-cut chances. Then Darren scores a goal in extra time, and then I actually played a flick on to Scott McDowell, and he played me down the line. And then I just ran. It was literally everybody was absolutely goosed. 98, 120 minutes. Just basically kept running. It was just running a straight line. You know that way, like no one seems to be coming across to you. I just carried on running to goal, and Broadfoot took us down, but. Unbelievable at scoring a cup final against Rangers, but like, I took the penalty.
Only because you won it?
Only because I won it, but I always wanted to take the penalties. You know, that way you can't really say give me the penalty unless you've won it. That was the one time I won a penalty and I was like, I'm taking it. And to be fair, no one really fought me on it. It was Hesslink used to take the penalties and he was like, didn't even sentence us. You know,
how was that feeling running up to penalty?
If I miss this...
Is that what's going through your head? Mad, have you always think the negative?
You actually think that what's the worst thing that can happen, but if you miss it in a cup final, imagine Rangers got there and score, it goes to extra time, you're just like, But luckily it's the best feeling in the world, isn't it, when you hit a penalty and you just see the goal diving the wrong way.
Aye,
Best
sending the
feeling
goal
in
the
the
wrong
world.
way.
Is it obviously better beating Rangers in a final than
Of course it is, aye. But very very similar. But a cup final is you just spoke about it there. What people remember in it, cup finals. People still remember Celtic Rangers games, but not as vividly as I remember cup finals. So suppose you kind of go down in history a wee bit, don't you?
Do you like about both your time at Celtic Rangers? There was a proper rivalry with the players like you and Novo. You said a bit, didn't you?
Aye, we did, but he kind of started it. But we never.
How did it start?
It was that game, the Tuesday night game where we had to win, and Hesslink scored the winner.
Last minute.
But Novo came on, I think he filmed me or something like that, and I said something back to him. He was like, you're in my pocket. He said something like that to me, and I was like, what? And then when we scored, I just turned and ran straight to him, and he slapped me. And then that was a big
You raging?
Hey, you raging? He actually slapped me, and then when I got Player of the Year, I said that thing on stage about he actually done the press conference after the game, and that's what he said, yeah, McGeady was just raging because I had him in my pocket. I'm like, but you're a fullback.
I was just thinking that.
You're a fullback, mate.
He's a winger.
Winger, but I said it on the stage, and then he said something else as well, and then we played against him like a week later. And I remember the first time I got the ball, he was up against me, and it was like everyone was going, oh. And I went past him, but he got a touch on it, but it bounced back off and went into my path, and I was like, hey! I was like, how good's that, man? I've just beat him there.
Lucky bastard.
Oh, so lucky, man. But
And then see with that, did you ever meet outside the football and it's back to the Naismith thing where it's alright?
I've not seen him since.
He's fighting.
But we're actually alright. He's fighting.
Casmel gets pulled out, you should do it.
Is he fighting?
Is there no something like he's fighting?
I think it's been scrapped.
Oh, right, okay.
And then yours was Bruni as well, wasn't it? You got made quite a big a deal.
Aye.
How did that come about as well? Certain game or just...
No,
Did you know shake his hand or something like that? Was it?
No, you did. I think you looked at him when you shook his hand.
He made a face or something like that.
Does that start a rivalry?
So where did the rivalry come from?
I don't know if it's just because if I was a Rangers fan, he was Celtic. I don't know, but I've said that 100 times over. Like, I don't know if you felt the same about what you're saying with you and Nacho. It didn't feel like a rivalry to you as an individual. It's just what the media fans try to make it out to be.
Mine was probably more like,
because you probably had a bit
off and I pissed him off, but then the media probably make it out to be something that's not, don't they?
Aye.
I thought it did feel like that though, we used to, watching it.
It's just in a 90-minute game, you might have arguments, you might have a tackle, you might have a grapple, whatever, but I couldn't care less after the game, do you know what I mean?
It's done.
I bumped into him a couple of times where it's been on holiday or whatever, and I'd say alright.
Have you?
Aye.
We liked him.
That's that. You raging?
Did you shake hands? Did you shake hands when you met him?
I don't think so.
Was he vocal in the pitch?
Not even a handshake?
No.
That's standard for footballers, isn't it? Even ones you don't know.
I wouldn't.
That's all.
I hate
No, a
handshakes. Have you
handshake.
spoken on it?
Can you walk up to somebody you've played against and be like,
I never shake your hand, did I? I would never feel a need to shake hands, do you know what I mean?
I suppose
You
that's
don't like that,
actually
do you?
never did you?
Like, I don't think you should need to shake your
Suppose it's
mate's
something
hand,
you actually don't think
Was
about.
that not one of your pet peeves?
100%.
Shake hands?
Shaking hands.
Was Bruni vocal when you played against him?
Aye.
Was he someone in Naismith, like, getting
Winding
on
people up?
Aye. I remember one that he done was when the COVID Scottish Cup final with Celtic Hearts. They went 2-0 up inside like 20 minutes. And I remember he was like, this is going to be a record. Like, this is going to be 6 or 7 or
He
that.
was shouting that so you could hear.
And then we brought it back to 2 each. And I think that was actually something with Nazy and him. After that, you can see, I think after we scored the goal, you see Nazy run to him after the goal. And I think it was something to do with that, 2 each, but then they end up winning on pens.
But then 100% off the pitch, they'll be absolutely brand new.
They'll be brand new, aye. They'll be brand new, definitely.
Who else was quite like that on pitch?
Cal McGregor's vocal on the pitch.
Is he, huh?
Aye, he's vocal on the
But
pitch.
that's been his
In
aim
terms
team,
of like getting annoyed with people, or like just
Nah,
vocal?
more like information, aye.
Right, okay.
But he called Barris like a shite bag, didn't he, remember? Shouted on your fucking shite bag when he passed it back away.
Did he?
On the pitch, huh? Never expected that for McGregor to be like that,
I don't like that actually.
huh?
I like that.
Anyone else, any big names that were like that?
Really vocal.
What about Ete on the pitch? I know you told that story about
Wasn't it like
No,
vocal, to be honest with you. I think the best players aren't really that vocal, are they? I don't think they are, but I just remember that you play against like some of the best teams and all these amazing players, but the one player that pure stands out of being so big time is like Sam Nasri. You know, people would always talk about
He's no one would. Player though,
he was a player, but no one would ever talk about like the Premier League. No one's ever going like cashing somebody off. He would seriously cash somebody off.
Did he?
Aye, the only player I've ever heard in the Premier League do it, when everyone's on 200, 300, 400 grand a week, he's like, my friend, you have no money. Like, to Everton, something like that. Somebody tackled him. And I'm just like... You see, find it in the low levels, don't you? People off more, don't they?
That's brilliant.
Do you know who I seen a compilation video the other day? Remember Ben Arfa?
Oh, Ben Arfa, he just couldn't be arsed, could he?
Incredible.
How good was he, man?
Oh, amazing. Newcastle, wasn't he? Went to.
Mate, he was just... See
Hull
the
City as
compilation
well.
though?
Oh, that's right.
He just walks by people. Doesn't even look as if he's moving at pace.
You've got to be jealous of that talent, though. Like,
Aye.
someone that can just beat player. Like,
You could do that easy. What are you talking about?
aye, but like...
I always say, here, I get slaughtered for DL and that, mate. I've never seen anybody when you were
Dale
younger.
slaughtered you? Worried about that?
No. No, like, see what you've just said about yourself, to imagine, like, when we were younger, that's what you would do.
You all seen him as a 10, didn't you?
Oh, I should have been a 10 all day, mate.
I probably don't. That's probably not the right way to say it. I've just been see that effortless way of beating players where I don't even need to try.
But that's what you've done. 100%. I've never seen anything like it. First time I've seen someone like go by people, I'm like, what the fuck, man?
But would you not say like his was more like being sharp, whereas Ben Arfa doesn't look sharp? He's just like,
It's just movement,
As
innit?
if he's not moving that quick, but he's just gone by people.
Like
you ever
Messi body, like doesn't even. Messi's never done a step over in his life.
He just stops and shoulder.
In training, did you ever see anybody getting absolutely a roast in it?
Gary Walsh, you've probably never heard of it, but
I was literally just about to say it.
ended his
Gary
career.
Walsh.
We signed him for like,
That can end you, that,
we
mate.
signed him on like a 4-year deal, mate, right?
No, I've never heard him.
For Ireland, got signed on a 4-year deal and he was good, mate. He was a centre mid. I was a wee bit worried when he came because we played home farm and they battered us. Dan O'Day played in the game.
Aye.
So they signed like Darren, Gary Walsh. And it must have been like Gary Walsh's third day, mate. We'd done 3v3s where he put 2 goals at the...
Oh, no.
And Gary, he was like a determined wee guy, like he thought he was Roy Keane. And he's like, I'll take him, and he's fucking terrible. Mate, never recovered.
No, that
I think he got
can
sent him about and he just snowballed after that.
And that can
I was
kill
actually
you, mate.
buzzing off him because that Gary Walsh was coming to take my place, mate, and he ended him.
Oh, it's the worst, that, though. See, when it keeps happening to
He
you.
kept getting turned so much. Tommy Burns shouted on, if you keep fucking turning, you're going to end up drilling for oil or something. Shouted on. Would you remember that now?
I do.
And then remember Midge smashed you because you were taking the
That was a
piss.
bad one though. To be fair,
So Midge Gardine, a horrible wee bastard when it came to that, mate. Like, he was a great player, Midge, wasn't he? Back in the day, but he could smash. He could a scissor tackle, and he was running amok, mate. And Midge is just fucking sick. But him being him, jump up. Put them are fucking rolling about with each other. And that was when Willie McStay's trying, hey, stop, and Tommy's behind him like that. Oh. He's like desperate for a sort of fight. Do you remember that?
Aye.
That's
No,
right,
me then, Andy.
Aye, I hate people that tackle like that in training. Hate it.
Oh, Midge was the
There's
worst,
no need.
mate.
There's no need for
No.
that type of tackle in training,
No.
is there?
But see, when I was like a 12-year-old, like, so see at Dundee, the way it worked is that Sean Smith would have like, you'd only have 6 players training. So Fozzie'd be the oldest at 16 and I'd be the youngest at 12, and then it'd be like 13-year-old, 14.
Can't have a 12-year-old training with a 16.
So that's what we done, mate. But it was brilliant for me.
Fozzie was a man.
A man, mate. And I'm training against him at 12, right? And he's like boshing you in the face. But mate, Midge Gardine was the same because I came and he must have thought I was decent. But I remember my first training session, mate, received the ball and he just goes, fuck you, man, 12. Like, nobody'd ever tackled me like this before in my life. Sitting in the motor with my dad, like, I'm not going back here.
See, I like that. I do like somebody coming in and smashing you, but no, like, being hard, but no, they want the type of tackle.
Those ones could properly injure you though.
Remember Midge's scissor?
Midge's scissor was out. Just thinking there, like Argentinians and South Americans. I don't know if I've told you this one before. Do you mind that Marcus Rojo? We had him at Spartak, at Man United. His scissors in training were outrageous, but done it to the wrong person one time. Done it to Emmanuel Emenike one time.
Right, what happened?
Oh, big striker.
Big striker. But like, no, done it to like the Brazilian boy. Brazilian boy's like, just because his head was going, properly studied him right down his shin in training. Everyone's like, what are you playing at? Emenike's like that to him. Come here, you. And he like, never spoke any English whatsoever. And they, in Russia, like, when they seen the fight, manager just let it go. So the two of them started scrapping, but Marcus Rojo went to jab Emenike, and Emenike's, I've never seen movements like this in my life. It was like prime Mike Tyson. He's dodged it, and he's grabbed Marcus Rojo, and he's thrown him on the deck, and he started like studding into his face, and we were all like that. And the manager's like, right, yeah, let's split it up now. But just like remember, like, some of the scissor tackles he used to do were just outrageous.
I broke my back.
But you get
Tyson. Remember he said he broke his back?
He's a hero, isn't he?
you get some of the tackles that like proper like
Nasty tackles.
but yeah, like training ends up at a standstill because everyone stops like that. What the fuck's he just done there? Do you know what I mean? Like, some of the ones. I told you about the Bruno Alves one on Jordan Rossiter. And Jordan Rossiter had like 2 years of injuries, just constant injuries. First day back training. But Jordan Rossiter, to be fair, like was done for about 15 seconds or something, bounced back up. He's only like young 20s. Next time Bruno get the ball, Jordan Rossiter just ran but just done it
toughy
straight back
bastard
to
was it,
my
wasn't he?
for the Wiz, aye.
That's brilliant for him though, innit?
But it was like a 38-year-old played at the level he did, doing that to a 21-year-old that's been injured for 2 years.
Why would
And
they
then
do
you
that?
you got him right back.
Horrendous,
It's
isn't
that
it?
Portuguese kind of South American thing in it though. They always seem to talk about like Rojo there. They always seem to do those tackles in training, but they always seem to get away with it. But if you get caught with Emmanuel Emenike.
Mate, Midge was a winger, right, and his tackles were the worst I've ever seen in football.
Would he just constantly do it through training?
Just if he'd get annoyed or something,
getting
he
round
would
up.
just fucking scissor somebody, mate.
Was when he got annoyed, wasn't it?
It was when he got
You could
annoyed.
always see him coming though as well. Couldn't you be sprinting away, head
He'd
down?
sprint to you, mate. Wallace was the same.
Aye.
Remember Wallace?
Wallace.
You could
was the same,
hear
aye.
people
Wallace could-
chasing you, couldn't you?
Aye.
If it's one of the ones,
tempo
you could
goes
actually
up.
hear the grass, mate, flooding. That was like Brothers like that.
Would he
Brothers
smash
like
people,
that,
would he?
aye.
Has
But
he
it was
can
one of
go?
them when you could hear him
I'm
chase
coming.
you.
Aye, has he can go?
Right, last wee bit, talking about Celtic Rangers coming up. Aiden's first appearance was a late sub at Celtic Park
Aye.
2004. Sutton last minute chip to win the game, complete a whitewash over Rangers that season. Wanted to ask you, did you know you were coming on in the game? What's
No.
happening? Are you warming up and you just shout Sean? We love these.
Never knew whatsoever. The same way I think I played 2 games before that.
You played your Hearts debut.
Hearts and Dunfermline, then obviously Rangers. Knew I wasn't going to play, but I was on the bench and you just like taking in the atmosphere as a fan. Never been on the bench in a Celtic Rangers game before. Just thought it was absolutely amazing, and it was actually 0-0 at the time when I came on.
And what happens?
Get the
Did you
shout,
go
come
and
on.
warm up, or does it just 3 years out to warm up? Or
I think see back then it was actually go and warm up. It wasn't the do it now,
Boys, aye.
pour it now.
See when he says go and warm up, is the
Aye, you must be
start
shitting it.
could be going on here. I think it was at 2 or 3 of us went to warm up. I think I actually came on before that. I think I came on before Ross Wallace and Beats and that went on. It was actually 0-0 and I just remember thinking, like, make sure your first touch is a decent touch. End up, I think, took a touch, went inside Alan Hutton, tried to play a cross that went straight out of play. Looked like it was going to be a good ball, went straight out of play. But then the ball came, like 5 minutes later, the ball came on and somebody cleared it, and then that's when Sutty flicked on, got his flick on, and didn't close. I was the first one on top of Sutty. Right after it, like, as a pure Celtic fan, just like, this is unbelievable being part of this.
What did the crowd do when you crossed it and went out?
grown.
Did you get a groan?
No,
Can I just remember, to be honest with you?
so that's what I was going to say. I always think if you're a young boy,
Young
they don't
boy.
groan. Do
Did I grown?
you know what I mean?
Think
Whereas
after-
I think
after
if
a
it's
while
you in
they do.
5 years, they're like,
Oh no, definitely. Straight away you get the leniency of being a young player, don't you? You get probably
aye, that's what I mean.
5, 10 games, 15 games until people like you, don't like you, figure you out, whatever. But you do get the leniency,
Aye, at the
don't
start,
you? the fans
aye,
at the start.
It'd be good if something looked at you and it's like, get off, it's you, get off. What are you doing? Don't touch me.
Who's this wee guy?
He'd have done something like that as well.
Oh.
wouldn't he? What was some of Sutty's big time
He,
shouts?
mate,
Can you
he
remember
had
them?
like the best big time shout. That's the first time I'd ever heard a big time shout, mate. I think
that's
it,
brilliant,
man.
yeah.
Isn't it?
Oh,
You still
mate.
talk about McDonald's one, didn't you?
Make sure you get, when you get released next year, make sure you're giving
Other
us extra
Royal
chips.
Mail. Like, if he's open the mail, get used to this, son.
You'll be doing
Post
that.
office soon.
The when you sent it to your for his bank card was the best shout of all time. Go and get 500 quid out for us if you want to check my balance.
No problem.
Better take a seat for you because you need to sit down when you say it.
Do you know one thing I remember? How ruthless he was. Remember like how ruthless he just wouldn't care about MD thought whatsoever. Do you know how I remember how outside Celtic Park there was like all the fans waiting after training, and everybody would always walk out and go, "Oh, there's millions of fans," and he would always try and slip out gate 2 or something. Most of the first team would. But he actually walked out one day. Mind he had those pure big dirty Pradas that he wore to training every single day. Like, they're back in fashion now, aren't they? The big massive like.
Because he lived on a farm, didn't he?
Lived in Thornton Hall somewhere, and he's walked out of training one day, and the fans are all there, and like Sutty, and he actually had his Prada shoe up to his ear. He's like, "Sorry, mate, I'm on the phone here," and just walked past him and got in his car. I was like, surely he's going to turn back. It's a joke. Just got in his car and drove off.
Did you ever remember him saying like, "I think we're going to get beat today"? Peter over here been saying that.
A few times he said that, but again,
Obviously,
I think it
joke.
was banter.
Banter.
Gonna get beat today. Like, Henrik's injured. I'm a best player. You lot of shit. Just that. So negative though, wasn't it? But it was so
That's
funny.
amazing, mate,
So
innit?
funny, man.
But
And
what
you're
a-
saying even he was quiet when Roy Keane came in?
I think he maybe
Aye.
left when Keane had came in.
Oh, did he?
I'm sure Sutton left as soon as Strachan came in, mate. I'm sure he did.
Sutton definitely played the Bratislava game though, because that's who I came on for, because he
But I think,
smashed in the cheek.
I've never asked you. You talked about Martin O'Neill, right? Did he always just name 11 players in the subs, or was there ever a team talk as well?
When he named the team, there was never a team talk.
Never.
He only did his. Like, were you ever in the squad with him?
Nah,
When
no,
he was the
Martin O'Neill,
manager?
no.
There was a team talk when he came back in, but he used to like name his team, walk out, and then right after the warm up, he would then start speaking.
So
And
like
what
just
would you-
before you go out
Just
to the
before
game.
you go out.
It would just be small things.
Small things, there was nothing really was more the way he said things, wasn't it? And I think it was more the fact that he used to do it in small doses that it meant more and it got more of a reaction, as opposed to somebody who talks all the time. But he did used to, he had a massive presence, I felt, a massive aura. But even when you passed him in the corridor, wouldn't you? You'd be like,
scary.
That's Mark O'Neill. And some days he'd say alright to you, then other days he'd just completely pie you.
I don't know if you've heard the story, but see his debut. Yeah, you told it in the first interview, innit? When he's named the team at 11. So you've not even been on the bench, have you?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, so you started straight
But you
away?
never knew where he was so you never knew where he was starting? Because he just names 11 names after. He doesn't go and then he's backs away.
So as if you get the sheet of paper and he like takes out a bit of paper from his pocket. I don't know if it's a hotel like notepad that he's just written it down on, but he takes out and he just reads it and then reads the subs out, and like then he walks back out and I'm like, did I hear my name there? Like, and I've had to say to Steve, like my plan is that, aye mate, you're playing off Henrik. And I'm like no inkling whatsoever. Like I think it's a good thing as well, because see if I'd been told the day before,
when you're
playing, it would unsettle you, wouldn't it? Probably it's probably the best thing you could have done.
Oh mate,
how are you in the warm up in the
Was
game?
it
Tynecastle? Yeah.
He done the touch.
It's a tough venue for first game as well, isn't it?
Aye, it was. To be honest though, like when like what was it like when you made your debut? Like the feeling is just it's the best feeling in the world. That's all you want to do. You're fearless, can do anything. Apart from if like you have a bad first 10 minutes, that's all I didn't want to do. Have a bad first touch. I think, what if I get the ball here and give it away the first time I get it? But luckily the ball came to me. I took a good touch. I think I ran down the line, and I think I won a free kick or something like that. And then straight away
even if you want a throw in, man, you're buzzing in your debut.
how was Larson with you in the first game? Was he helping you through it, or?
I was kind of telling me little bits and pieces about where to be and stuff, but he wasn't
overly.
It wasn't overly like helpful.
I guess that could kill you actually though as well.
It wasn't overly.
I'm treating you like a wee boy. You're doing
You're doing alright.
Keep it going.
Aye. I'm done.
What was the double touch over in the corner flag, wasn't it?
So on Andy Webster, aye.
Andy Webster,
Like the flip flap, aye.
that was right.
But actually looked like try to almost shoot, but I think I was caught in two minds. I should actually, if you look back at it, I should just pass that across the box. Petrov's got a tap in, and I was caught in two minds, so I didn't cross or shoot, and I just like clipped in at the goalie's arms. But Stan thought I meant to cross it. I think I actually tried to shoot, and he was like at me, as if, unlucky mate, that was unlucky. You tried to get the ball to me there. And I was thinking, I didn't try and get the ball to you at all. I actually tried to shoot, I think.
Was Strachan's team talks completely different to Martin O'Neill?
They were different. Strachan would do more coaching during the week, and he would be there more. Like Martin O'Neill was very much more of a hands-off manager at the time. His team just rolled though, didn't it? His team just knew what they were doing. Every single player knew what they were doing and set up to win games. But he'd probably more of a presence when he spoke, I thought.
Do you know what section I think we need to add to the podcast every time we get a guest? Best 11 they've played with.
You could name rhyme that off.
I think it's a must.
I know.
Aye. A rough draft.
What about that?
And then you can text Si later if you think you've got one wrong.
Haaland scored 91 goals in 100 games.
I know.
That is fucking ridiculous.
Roy Keane got him a League 2 striker.
Like, am I right in saying that? Am I right in saying?
I've not played with him though.
No, I know. I was going to ask you the best goal scorer you played with.
Am I right in saying that they said at a point in the second half, the commentator says that it was his first touch since he scored? So he scored like the 18th minute and he never got another touch till at the 50th.
He did say that after the game, didn't he? He's like, I'm happy just to play long and.
Aye. What's the point?
What's
the point of me coming in? Didn't he?
What's the point of me coming in? I know Roy Keane called him a League 2 striker.
That's what I
put him on the spot there
to try that.
With
the best day.
11.
But your best goalie will be
Shea Given.
Big Rab. Goal kicks.
Big Arthur.
Arthur was brilliant on that.
Shea Given probably.
Shea Given top.
I played with Shea Given when he was about 38 and he was still a joke.
Where was that?
Came Middlesbrough. Was that a year at Middlesbrough? Still a joke.
He's a great guy as well, isn't he?
You said a laugh on the bench, didn't you?
That charity game.
There's certain players that straight away spring to mind, but see positions like right back and centre half and stuff.
Bobby Petter,
Circle Prada. He used to get called Bobby Prada, didn't he?
Bobby Prada. Oh, you wore Prada, huh? Paul Hartley was the same.
Prada head to toe.
Bobby Petter would only ever wear Prada gear, and then Paul Hartley would only ever wear Armani gear. That's all he wore. Remember it?
Like Armani socks.
Armani socks, everything. Armani. They used to call it.
Armani, wee man.
Armani.
That reminds me because Lee Wallace was always Nike. Big Waldo's Nike every day. A Nike cracky different colour every single day.
You hate that,
I hate that, mate.
He hates Nike.
Get nice clothes on. You play with Celtic and Rangers, man.
You're a tracky man to training?
No,
never at all.
No. Actually,
Smart.
see, to be honest, I was every other day up until I was 30, and I remember saying to myself when I was 30, right, no more trackies done.
A trackie was only like a cool down, like recovery day when like we were coming through. Many people used to go into training with leather jackets on and all that. They were having like an absolute rig out for training.
Mikey McGlinch had about 8 leather jackets, mate.
You'd be ironing it the night before,
Auxiliary.
hanging it up separate. That's what I'm wearing tomorrow.
People, like somebody the other day said in training, I can't believe you're wearing jeans to training. And I was like, can't believe I'm wearing jeans. It's standard wearing jeans.
What, do the boys that wear trackies?
Trackies every single day, or shorts.
See, if I walked in my
nowadays.
tracky, I'd feel lazy for the day, do you know what I mean?
Nah.
The only ever time I'll ever wear a trackie now is if I'm flying somewhere.
That's us, lads. Anything else you want to ask him?
Just one quick one. Unai Emery, was he unreal?
He was brilliant. Like looking back on him now, see at the time, everybody now is doing shape and formations and stuff like that. But back then we used to do it for fun. Like see nowadays, like if you were to do none of that, you'd be absolutely raging. See, we'd done no wee games whatsoever. You're like, mate, just give us a wee game, man, go on. But he was so regimented in what he'd done, and you can see that's how he's such a good manager. He never done that well with us because the Russians basically revolted against him. But he had us.
Why did they revolt against him? Just because of the training?
He kind of had an issue with it. He had an issue with some of the Russians, and straight away the big captain Zuba, who basically ran the team.
Right.
He just dropped him straight away. He wasn't having them whatsoever. And I told you before that we actually had we weren't doing that well in the league. He loved all the foreigners, got on well with some of the Russians, but he was promised so many things off the owner, and he basically wasn't giving them before he signed. And captain comes round the dressing room and he's like, putting a petition together to get Emery the sack. You want to sign it? And I was like, no, no chance.
Was he raging that he never signed it?
No, he just like, well, it's fine, but we're going to go to the president and get Emery the sack.
Fucking
And I
hell.
was like, no chance.
Was he
man.
saying that? Was Emery saying good evening then?
No, but his English was broken before, but he used to be confide in me. He used to like phone me up for chats and be like that. The owner said I could buy Diego from Werder Bremen before I came in. 10 million, there you go. And he's saying, play this young Russian lad. And I'm like, how can... But he would phone me up and tell me this stuff.
No
and
way.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm not your mate. Do you know what I mean?
So Emery would you just be sitting in your house?
Phone me to come in for a meeting just to tell me, be like, oh, that place, man. What's this place like?
Would you ever hang about him outside of it?
No,
just phone calls?
It's just like phone calls and stuff like that.
That's mad, isn't it?
Unbelievable.
What a story.
He's on, mate. What a manager he is.
Oh, brilliant.
So it's a great guy as well, to be fair.
Is he?
When I left Russia, I thought we were pre-season in Spain, and I think he went back to Sevilla, and I got a random text message off him just saying, I don't know if you can put this in, just saying, fuck you, with exclamation marks. And I've like showed like one of the Argentinian centre half head. I was like, fucking Emery's just texted me, I saying fuck you. Like, he went, fuck's that about? Is it that raging with you? That? I was like, no. Well, I don't know. I just wrote back to him, fuck you. Just wrote back to him, fuck you, and then he wrote back again, fuck you. And then that was it done.
No way.
That was it done. And I was like, can you explain this to me? He was like, no. It's bizarre, man. Bizarrest thing ever.
What a way to end that. I can say it, that's fine.
Aye.
Fuck you.
What? Have you got any like, inkling of it?
Possibly because I used to always be like swearing and training in English. Do you know what I mean?
Right, so he's just joking
I'm
with you.
thinking that's why he's done that, because I used to swear all the time in English. Like, fucking hell, this place is a fucking joke. And he must have like said, oh, the little Scottish, the little Irish guy, always swearing. Must have been that, surely. Because I was like, surely not raging at me.
How many years after you left?
It was about 2 years later.
That's
Yeah,
fucking
it must
amazing.
be something like that. That's
Great guy as well, to be fair. So actually, like, wasn't it? He's actually done really well for himself.
Aiden McGeady.
Oh, what a
Right,
man.
cheers, lads.
Better.
Your best 11 was brilliant.